Good morning, y'all. Welcome to Sunday. It's May 26th, and it's almost noon here in Houston. I went out walking earlier. It's hot as fuck. I managed to walk a full mile, and I was drenched. Normally, it takes me about 3-4 miles before I'm starting to sweat, and not today. So I only did a mile. Anyways, welcome to today's stream. This one's going to be different from my typical streams. Normally I'm doing some type of tech stuff, or I'm talking about work or something else. But today I'm talking about the situation that's going on in our society, namely the issue on dating. For what it's worth, I don't experience this issue. I am in the group that just said, you know what, screw them all. I'm good on my own. I will keep my money. That's me. But there are other people who actually want to deal with, these people. So we're going to watch some videos of people who are describing what's going on, because to be honest, I really don't know. And I'll be even more honest. Most of the females I've interacted with, I never went up to them, ever. Like it's weird. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna share my screen. And the first thing we're going to watch is in this playlist right here, which is, turns out black women are furious that black men, I guess, are, I don't know, high value, whatever that means, are not choosing them. Now, high value means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So far, no one's really been able to pin down a definition that, that makes sense to me. Maybe you all can help me with understanding what makes a high value man or woman or whatever. Before I get into it, though, I gotta do a little bit of housekeeping on my end, some technical thing. Okay, so let's make this a little bit bigger, or maybe I will go to my other. I have another scene that may be better. Okay, yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're going to make this full screen, and then I'm gonna make this window slightly smaller. So I'm actually editing my scene live, which normally you shouldn't do, but it's what I'm doing. All right, so we'll move that here. And I want to center that. We'll lock that in place, and let's get me the main event. Do I want to be in the middle? I don't know where I want to be. I'll be right here. How about this? I'll be right there, and I'll make myself a little bit bigger. All right. Hopefully this is good enough. I'll figure out a way to make this look decent as we go on. My plan is to try to do these at least, man, I shouldn't even say this live because y'all are gonna hold me to it, but I'm gonna try to do these at least twice a month. We'll see how that goes. All right, so first order of business is, because we are gonna be watching videos, we're not gonna have any music on, so let me go ahead and fade that out. All right, so we got that taken care of. And because we're watching videos, I also want to turn off some of my processing that I have going on. And let's turn it up. All right, cool. I think we're good. So are y'all ready to see this video? Let's see what's going on. Let's go for it.
Traditionally, they treat you like a lady. That means I must look at you as an inferior, right?
Wait, hold on, wait. Already, already starting off on the wrong foot. This dude, I'm sorry, like I'm probably in the class of people who actually hates this dude. I don't like him. To me, he's an idiot, and he's a Fed. So more reasons to not like the dude. Anyway, we're gonna get through this.
Oh. You do realize that, right? If I'm expected to protect you, provide for you, lead you, and I'm responsible for you, are we really equal?
He has a point, even though I don't like the man. Even though I think this dude's an idiot, he has a very strong point. If we're equal, then how is it the expectation that we're going to protect someone else? Like that's not how it works, right? Like typically it's the superior that's going to be in the position of protector. Let's see what they have to say. What are their answers?
Are we really equal? You don't find that suspicious?
I love the edit. I guess they're not going to let him
that
finish.
suspicious?
All right, let's skip through this.
The one choosing, and said, without further ado, let's go ahead and video. Well, should I say videos? Because it's about three different ones. Should I say? Let's get it.
Oh, for what it's worth, before we go into this, this creator is Average Man Unplugged. Actually, let me make this playlist not private. Or shit. All right, I will share the playlist later. There's a playlist that I created. I'll make sure that it's not private. So if there are any of these creators or any of these videos resonate with you, please go and follow it. Follow the creator. Go give them a like, that kind of thing. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and give this dude a like.
Things that every man wants. And if you do these three things, you can procure any man that you want. And the first thing is being useful. How can you be useful to the person in your life? Why is
that is 100% a fact. This is one of the things that my grandpa made sure that I understood for myself, is that I must be useful. I don't understand why, to me that just seems like a fundamental thing that we all should know. Like, we should be useful. But I suppose they don't feel that way.
Is that important? Because when you are a useful asset to the man that you want to be, then there is no way that he's ever going to want to get rid of you. The second thing is you have to blow his mind in the bedroom. What does that mean? That means you take the wildest, nastiest thing that you've ever done, figure out the wildest, nastiest thing that he's ever done, and exceed that.
I disagree. To me, I personally don't care about that. And it seems like all too often, so many of them lead with that, which is kind of interesting, because I guess I'm one of the, maybe I'm a unicorn in the sense that I have something called discipline. We'll skip the D. The other D is silent, but I have discipline. So the females who try to lead with that, it never gets them anywhere, and it always seems like they're confused why I don't react the way they would expect. It's like it's interesting, because they'll claim that they want someone, and by the way, even though I haven't dated in the past 3 years or so, I have had long-term relationships. I've had several relationships, actually, and one of the things that I've noticed is that they always will tell you what they they'll want one thing, and then you'll give them that thing and they won't want it. It's weird.
Otherwise, he can just get it from somewhere else.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Now, the third thing.
Yeah, I'm not leaving a female over sex. Let me rephrase that. I'm not leaving a female because she's not doing porn type shit. To me, that's kind of disgusting. Real talk. I don't want a female who's nasty and disgusting and who's done the nastiest thing ever. That's disgusting to me. In fact, I am one of those folks. I know that there's a lot of talk about it shouldn't matter. And yeah, you're right. It shouldn't matter, but it matters to me. That's the reality. If you're someone who's been through a bunch of people, you're disgusting to me. It's not, I'm afraid of you. It's repugnant. I don't want anything to do with you. I already have this sense that I'm better than most people. And it's if you're going to go and lay with people who I think that I'm better than, and you think that you're better than them and you let them sleep with you, it's of course, I'm not going to take you seriously. In fact, I won't even deal with you. I'm not the pump and dump type. I'm more of a leave, walk away, you go do you kind of type. You go find another millionaire kind of type. I know that it's unlikely.
And this thing is the most important thing. It doesn't matter if you do the first two things. If you don't do this last thing, then you won't be able to keep your man, and that is respect.
Okay, that's what he should have led with. That right there is the number one thing. The first one, strong point. Yes, absolutely. The second one, non-point. But this third one is absolutely a must, respect. Fundamentally. And yeah, there could be nothing else without respect.
Always respect your man. Now, if you have any confusion as to what respect is, say to yourself.
All right, so I think where he's going to go with this is where I have always gone with this. One of the things that I always had an issue with is how I would always get shit. You know what? Let me let him
Would I
finish.
say this
I
to
want to
the
let him
person
finish.
who is writing my checks?
Oh, Lord.
Would I say this to my boss?
So this is what I would latch onto right here, right there, boss.
And if you wouldn't,
So one of the things that always irked me is like the amount of stuff that the girl who I wanted to marry, she was willing, like she would do all these things for some boss. I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, I never said it out loud, but in my mind, I'm like, you're making $14 an hour. And you're putting this boss ahead of me. At that time I was making 180. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to become a multimillionaire. And it happened. So it happened. So in my mind, I'm like, you're over here prioritizing this hourly wage slave job for what? So that you can feel like you're independent, so that you can feel like you don't need anyone. It's like, at no point in my life was I, or in our relationship, was I ever like, hey, you know, I need you to go make a lot of money. It was never that. In fact, I never cared. I was just like, yeah, you know, do you? In fact, I was one of those folks, and you may call it a simp, where I'm just like, your money's your money. Why? Because $13 an hour don't do shit for me. It's this is real talk. I'm like, yeah, go make your money. I don't give a shit. Like, what am I? You're not helping me with it, you know? Anyway, let's go on.
don't say it to your man.
Okay, now, fellas, in the comments, did y'all see anything wrong with what he said? Now,
Yes, there was only one thing I heard wrong, and that was the second thing, which is the nasty, freaky sexting. That's the only thing that I heard wrong.
next question.
Let's see what else
That
you guys.
all y'all do is come on these dates. Okay, I can't date you. What is it about a man wanting a woman to be useful that is so triggering that says, oh, okay, I can't date you?
So my take is, why would you care as a man? That's just my take. If I don't know, I don't get it. I'm very much a walk away type of person, where it's like, I don't like a lot of things that phase a lot of people simply don't phase me. I simply don't care. And it's not like me saying it's like, at one point in my life, I thought I had like mental issues because I don't care about so many things, like fundamentally. And if someone is telling you that they, you know, if they're telling you that what you have to offer isn't enough, and it's just like, all right, move on, like, just move. Like, who cares? I guess maybe they care.
Do you mean to tell me you don't want a man that's useful? All y'all do is come on these dating shows and talk about how much y'all want a man to make. So don't sit over here and act like y'all don't want men to be useful in any kind of way. Because clearly, when it comes to finances, that says a lot, bro. They was feeling away. Check this out.
And sometimes you have to be careful with that, because even when you know it all, you don't know everything. You know, so being humble sometimes.
Wait. What did she just say? I just heard a logical fallacy. Even if you know it all, you don't know everything. So that's a contradiction. All and everything mean the same thing. So if you know all, then you do know everything. What she probably meant to say is no one knows everything. That's probably what she meant to say. But what she said is stupid. It just shows that her level of intelligence is not that high.
Can be your best friend, even if you do know it all, even if you're very smart, very wise, you know, but just having a humble attitude.
Look at that. And you hear that condescending. That's the thing that I've never understood. It's like, how are you in your position? You're a broke person with no skills, with no actual potential outside of, I don't know, like after basically there's no potential, none. And it's like you have the audacity to be condescending to a doctor? Huh? That's one of the things that's always interesting. It's like in our community, especially our women, they like to try to belittle every little thing that you do. And this is something that I've even faced. Like even with my job and my career, like all the time, my mom almost belittles it. I'm just like, I never said it out loud in person, but I'm just like, I'm the only person in our history who has, broken out of poverty. And it's like how you going to diminish me and what I've done? Like, I don't know many other people who are 28 making $85,000 a month. That's just me. Maybe I know other people exist, but I don't know anyone like that. And I know no one in my family knows anyone like that. So it was very interesting to me when like these accomplishments that, you know, I'm proud of. And it's like, here I am, I'm doing these things. And it's just like, oh, your little job, or it's just, oh, that all this kind of, you know, the backhanded comments that we get if you're from my community. You understand. Good morning, Premium Forges. I'm having fun working on ML models today. What's on the agenda? Well, we're talking about this Drizzle thing. We're talking about, or I guess, I don't know, we're talking about whatever. I'm reacting to videos. How about that? I don't know what I'm talking about because most of the videos I haven't watched. So yeah, so we'll see what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean? You would probably go a lot further.
She's like, he will go further. And that's the thing that, like, what's interesting is there's this level of projection. And I've noticed it where it seems like they think that we actually want them. Like, I mean, yes and no, right? Like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, if somebody told me that, oh, you can go further, it's like, what makes you think that I even want what you want? You know? Like, what's further? Is that like I do more pump and dumps? Like, I just, you know, is that what further is? Or is it, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah,
and I say that with all the respect in the world.
Who's your dentist?
Oh, wait. Oh, man.
Who is my dentist? Not you, sweetheart. And I'm just going to leave it right there.
Oh, I know. I'm not your dentist. All right,
let's go to our next person here. So that's it. But
look at her look. She embarrassed. That stank face on her look, that shows the level of embarrassment. She just got to stand there and take it. And look at her face. Look at her face. Oh my gosh, hold on. I gotta see that again.
Oh, I know. I'm not your dentist.
Okay.
All right, let's
go to our next person here. So that's it. But you look good. You're handsome. But
damn, like she only want to give the man eye contact. She's like, what is he gonna say about me? What's interesting is that in a room full of fives, they all think they tens, it blows my mind. It blows my mind that a lineup of fives are out here with this level of entitlement. It's interesting. All right, let's go.
I don't want that. And it's also given like this is a joke to you. Like you just want to come.
I mean, you look like a joke. You look like a joke. She got the predator dreads. She not fitting in this skirt, man. Come on. Now.
Get a viral moment. I'm not feeling that. Drizzle?
Yeah, I don't even really know what to say with that. I appreciate your perspective. I think that your feelings are valid. And if you are looking for a nuclear relationship, I probably am a red flag for you. So you're probably right on that.
Oh my God.
Oh.
I love your honesty.
So I don't know if y'all are into, like, I read body language. I don't know why, but it's, apparently I was like, men aren't, supposedly we're not emotionally intelligent, but that's what they tell me. But somehow I can read body language. And this right here, when she does this is her closing her guard. She feels like this is an insecure stance. And look, they're all doing it. They're all covering themselves like this. Generally, when you're comfortable, you're going to be more open, you know? None of them are open. They're talking as if they're comfortable, but their behavior doesn't align with how they're talking and how they're speaking.
Right. Yeah, it was just the arrogance for me. I love a man that's very confident. Like I feel like every day would be something not negative, but just the energy would just be very high for me.
She seemed to be the most reasonable so far. So far, she seems to be the most reasonable. Like, she's actually kind of nice so far.
It sounds like self-love is something that's challenging for you.
Oh my God!
Oh no, baby, I'm sorry.
Because if you loved yourself, then you wouldn't have any problem loving me.
Oh, I love myself a lot, and I want to be able to love someone as much as I love myself. But I feel like you love yourself so much that there wouldn't be any room for me to love you.
When you see me shining, it reminds you that you're not shining enough.
Oh my God!
Oh my
man.
gosh.
I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta keep it a buck with y'all, man.
All right, this dude. Who is this? Who is that guy? Like, do they say? Does he say who this person is? I need to know. I need to follow this guy. Did he not? He doesn't link to the stuff. That sucks. How are you gonna make a video and not link to the stuff? I need to know who this man is. Like, I think I have a new role model in life. Oh my gosh, I had to hear that again. That was savage.
You see me shining, it reminds you that you're not shining enough.
I melt in confidence. That kind of went over your head.
Fatality.
Okay. This is funny.
Oh man, I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta keep it a buck with y'all, man. I think he was just doing this shit just to preach the gospel, man. I don't think he went on there with any intention of finding anything, man. I think he knew, like, bro, I'm not gonna find what I'm looking for.
I mean, to be fair,
so let me just.
I would probably be someone like that too. I probably, like, honestly, if I were to go there, I don't know if I would, but if I were to go there, I would look at the room and just based off the fact that, like, I'm not attracted to any of them, I would probably be that person. I would just be like, nah. Like, make examples.
Go ahead and see if I can. I mean, y'all, so you want see how women.
Yeah, I'm gonna make
like
this. I'm gonna go make this faster.
They display arrogance.
Oh no, never mind. I won't make it faster for y'all.
It's funny.
So if you're watching VOD, it's normal speed.
Man, this is when it probably got real ugly. Check this out.
This lady rejected this guy for not being alpha enough.
You seem like the most nicest man on the planet. I do not. Oh shit! Oh. Okay, shoot. No, you just came off like I would not want to break your heart. Like I would feel.
And this is the sad reality right here. She literally said the words, you seem like you're too nice. Is that what she said? Hold on, maybe I wasn't listening. Let me listen to this again.
Check this out.
This lady rejected this guy for not being alpha enough.
You seem like the most nicest man on the planet.
Okay, so she's rejecting him because he seems like he's one of the nicest guys on the planet. So this is where things don't make sense to me, because they'll claim they want someone who respects them, who values them, who treats them well, all of these things that a nice man would do. But then when an actual nice man shows up, the rejection is, oh no, you're nice. Make it make sense. For what it's worth, I was described as this by my first ex, who left me, and then she was like, oh, like I don't even remember. It was so long ago. It's so long ago. Short story, or yes, long story short, she now works at PetSmart. She got the life she deserved, boys. She got the life she deserved. She said she wanted to travel the world, and I didn't have the money at the time. I was only making 70K. But she had a guy friend who was making 80K, and like she decided to go with the guy who was making 80K, and he pumped and dumped. And now she makes minimum wage at PetSmart. Meanwhile, the guy who she decided to leave, who was not rich enough, he eventually got to a point where he was making 85K a month and actually traveled the world twice. Literally, like, been around the world twice. She got what she deserved, and I think I got what I deserved, which is a better life.
I do not. Oh shit! Oh. Okay, shoot. No, you just came off like I would not want to break your heart. Like I would feel like such a jerk if I ever like.
And now this.
My name is Tatiana.
Oh look, she's closed off. She's like this. She's on guard. You know what this tells me? I can see it in her eyes. She's looking, she's smiling. She likes this guy, but she's going to try to say something because she knows that she's not for this guy. You can tell just by the behavior. It's interesting. They don't have to say anything. And it's not just men, women, it's men too. You just look at how people behave. I'm a people watcher, so this is why I tune into stuff like this, just what people's body posture is like. What are people like? What are their facial expressions like? Are they, do their voice go up? Like, all these things can give you a very good indication of how someone is truly feeling. And then you can just ignore words because everybody just says words. Everybody are liars in my mind. I ignore all words. I only look at actions.
Ooh, okay, respectfully, where do I begin, my guy? You got a lot of dip on your chip, and I feel like the way you coming at everybody else with like, oh, who's your dentist and everything, you finna ask me who my dentist is. And I'm not with that just yet. I'm not ready for that. Also, let me finish real quick, respectfully. I'm sorry, because you interrupt everybody else. Let me speak real quick. I just personally feel like you're not used to and I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm alpha male, whatever. Like, you're not used to a dominant woman. I feel like
Who wants a dominant woman? That's disgusting. Who the fuck wants a dominant woman? Maybe another woman. Like, that's one thing that I've noticed. There are a lot of, especially in tech. I work in tech. There are a lot of women who want to be alphas. It's like, that's just not attractive. It's interesting because a lot of them are single. They're all single. It's just like, well, like, your degree doesn't matter to anyone. Your job doesn't matter to anyone. The only thing that matters is like, are you a nice person? And most of them aren't, which is too bad for them.
Like, it's easy kind of coming to you to belittle women a little bit. I understand where you're coming from with everything that you do.
I mean, it's kind of easy for me too. You make it easy. Like, it's not that hard, which is probably why we have all these laws and books or laws and stuff on the books to elevate you so that you have some level of privilege, because it's not that hard to put you down. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know what I don't really have I don't care enough. It's stating the fact it's not very hard to do.
You do come off as arrogant. Confidence is cool, but like, know the difference a little bit. What you gonna say about my tooth, bro?
Why would I want a dominant woman when
Next.
I'm the dominant one?
Go ahead. That can't be,
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Do you think you're the prize?
I know I'm the prize.
You're the prize to the men you don't want.
Okay.
When you get a man that you actually want, please believe me, we're the prize.
That's a bar. That is a bar. That's really it. Like, if only people understood that their value isn't universal. Their value is only in the eyes of the person who's beholding them, right? And the people who want them. Like, I wish we all had just like infinite value, but that's not the reality of life. Some of us are born with no value, and we have to build ourselves so that we become valuable. Some of us are just born and we have intrinsic value. And if you don't use it properly, it goes away by a certain period. I didn't make the rule, and unfortunately, like, I don't really care. Either way, it's like, it's hard both ways. The first 30 years of my life were fairly challenging. I went through a lot of things. Chances are the next 30 years of my life are only going to continue to get better from here. And honestly, like, I'm in a very good position in life. So it's kind of, it's ironic because, like, their value is quite high. When our value is very low, and the problem that I think a lot of them aren't seeing is, it's not really a problem. The thing that I don't think they're seeing is we have the potential. That's the thing. It's like, we have the potential. When I was in college, I was broke. Straight up. I was broke. I was like most other men. No skills. I mean, obviously I had skills. Like, I made music. I did stuff, but when I say no skills, I mean like what I have now. Like, I know so much more. It's not even funny. Like, me today would call myself at 18 a fucking moron, an idiot, someone who's clueless, someone who didn't know shit. that's me at 35. That's just what I've learned in the past like 20 years or so. So it's my values only increased. And I mean, it shows like in my bank account, that's going up too. Like I don't have to worry about eating anymore. Just things that I had to worry about when I was younger. I don't have to worry about how to pay rent. There was a time when I didn't have when I lost my job and my girlfriend at the time had to pay my rent for months. So that should go to show that, you know, when we're younger, we often don't have anything. And it's because we aren't born with intrinsic value. We are not born with intrinsic value. We have to become valuable. And I think that anyone who has to become valuable earns the right to pick and choose whoever they want, which is why the people, what he said is right. Like, you're a prize to the men you don't want. To the men who've actually elevated themselves, like if he's a doctor, I'm an engineer. I worked my ass off to get here. It's like, I'm not about to settle. Like that same saying that I hear so many of them saying, oh, I'll never settle. Same thing here. Why would I settle? When I hear someone saying, oh, I don't want to date someone who's not over 6 feet tall, why would I want to date someone who's over 200 pounds? Or over 150? You know what? Scratch that. If you're over 120, I don't have to deal with you. Because if you don't want to deal with someone who's not over 6 feet tall, by the way, they can't control that. I shouldn't have to deal with someone who's unwilling to not be a fucking fat ass. And by the way, that's something that you can control. You can go to the gym. You can stop eating. You can start drinking only water. These are things that you can do to lose weight. I've done it. Like, I've done it. Like, I'm doing it now. Like, I gained like 25 pounds and I'm losing it. How? Well, I go to the gym. I stop eating junk food. I drink more water. I move more. Like, that simple. These are things that I can control. And for these people to say, you know what, I don't want to deal with a man who's under 6 feet. By the way, I'm 6'4". So I'm not saying this is like I'm you know, upset that they're not picking me. I'm in the hold on, let's do something right quick. Let's do something. We'll open up Firefox. Yeah, we'll do developer edition, sure. Let's open this up over here. Let's do a little bit of like stats or whatever. Maybe. Is it gonna open? Like, what the fuck? Firefox? Oh, there we are. All right, so we'll say delusion calculator. Okay. So, men who want kids, or let's just say either, it doesn't matter, yes or no. And let's say 25 to 60, or 22 to 60. Well, yeah, we'll go 60. Height. We're going to go over 6 feet tall. Or we'll say 5'11" to 6'6". How about, or 6'4", 5. We'll do 5. Make a 6 inch range. Minimum income. We'll just say 2. Ethnicity, any. Yeah. Religion doesn't matter. Smokes. Let's say doesn't matter. Let's make it really easy. And let's exclude married people, because yeah. And let's not exclude fat people. Actually, let's keep fat people. We want to give people a chance. We want to see how likely you are to find someone. There we are, 0.34%. This is to find a man who doesn't care about kids. Like, they'll have them, they won't have them. This is someone who's between 22 and 60. Someone who's between 5'11" and 6'5". And by the way, we just said that they're not willing to, you know what, let's screw it. We're going to do this. Let's put in my shit. So let's say you're 25, we'll put in my shit. And then we'll say, I won't do any ethnicity. We're going to keep that. I don't do any of these things. And let's exclude married, and let's not exclude obese. And let's see where this goes. 0.17%. That's less than 0.2%. 0.2. Oh, you don't get a notification, casual? I think YouTube is restricting my stuff. They're deleting my comments. I have a feeling that they are also doing stuff to my channel. Like, real talk. Because like right now, there are only 2 people on YouTube. All of my viewers are everywhere else right now. Twitch and Twitter. No one's on YouTube right now, which is quite the opposite of how it usually is. Generally, it's more people on YouTube. Whatever, I don't care. So if you're trying to find, and if you happen to be female and you're looking at this, if you're trying to find me, well, let's just say this. I understand that I know I'm a fucking unicorn. So why would I pick you? Why would I deal with you? Why would my standards also be high when I know that you all want someone like me? That's just, like, I don't know. Is that harsh? According to this, there are I'm one out of 280,000, and honestly, this is with this. Let's constrain this. Let's just say, you know what, we're going to actually go with where I am because I'm between 6 4 6. All right, I'm a man, and yes, I want kids. We'll leave that. We'll put yes, I'm black. I know. We won't care about hair color. Let's say they all want someone with education. I went to grad school. I didn't finish, so I'll just say my bachelor's degree. Religion, sure. Yeah. Smoke, yeah, no. Exclude marry, yes, yeah. Exclude obese, yes. No obese people because I'm not obese. So let's say this is my profile right here. Actually, no, this is a lie. This isn't my profile. We'll say this right here. I'm between 30 and 40. All right, so this is my profile. According to this, I don't fucking exist. I don't exist. I gotta go to lunch soon, but I was free to watch 30 minutes ago. I'm mad at you too. Oh, no worries, bro. No, just tune into the VOD. If you drop comments there, maybe in the next time I do one of these types of things, we'll bring it up. All right, so this goes to show that these people. Let's see if we can get this to where it's not 0. That's too low. Let's maybe do. Let's see where I was at 25. All right, so at 25. Oh wait, I gotta change this because I was 25 at the time. So we'll say 25 to 30. We'll do that. Seriously though? Wait, hold on. It's still 0%. Is it broken? I don't believe this. Hold on. I think this is a mistake. All right, let's make the range bigger because okay. I'm like, nah, something's up. Okay. So it turns out that when I was 25, I was here. And you want to know what's interesting is that in both instances where, by the way, I proposed to 2 people, full disclosure. In both instances, they eventually left thinking that they can do better. Can you believe that? I mean, I could show you what I used to look like. I used to be an athlete. So it's like, they both thought that they could do better. Which is quite interesting because I'm just like, I don't know many people like me. And I know people. It's not like I don't know anyone, but like I really don't know many people like me. Anyway, let's keep. Oh shit! What did I just do? Okay, yeah. Let's keep going.
Okay. Next.
And there goes one of the talking points that comes up in this space all the time.
All right, cool. So we'll move on to the next one. 24 minutes of modern women. For what it's worth, I should also say that generally I have my TV running, and here's how I'm going to try to do these or make this helpful or not helpful, make this sustainable. I turn on something like this and I notice that YouTube's recommendation engine will always recommend more content similar to this. So what I've done, and I can even show it to you, what I did was I went to my history here and I just scrolled through and found anything that mentioned like dating or women or men or anything like that and added it. And this is everything that has showed up in the past 2 weeks. So there are 20 videos that I found before. I was like, it's too many. So I got 20 videos that have been recommended to me, but they play. So all of them are going to show us if they've been fully played through. And that's part of what I do to make sure that YouTube doesn't know what I actually like. It's dumb, but it's something that I've been doing for years. I just play it on the TV. It's not playing right now. I should, but let's go ahead and get this started. See what she has to say.
Feminism's gone way too far. Okay? Men can't even look in the same direction for too long at the gym because they're terrified someone's recording them and then blast them all over the internet.
Is that true? Are people are men afraid to look at women? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really. I go to the gym, but like I've never paid attention to women in the gym. Granted, when I was going to the gym the most, it wasn't as many. But even now, like I've never paid attention to them. It's something about it. Like I know what they want, which is so I'm unwilling to give it to them. I know they want attention, so because I know it, I don't do it. I've always been this way. so it's like, is it fear? Are people really afraid? Like, tell me if there anybody in the chat. Let me know are y'all afraid to go to a gym and look in the direction of a woman? If so, why? That's such a weird.
Later on, can't ask for a phone number because he might also look like a creep. Really can't even exist at this point without apologizing, and I'm tired of it because they're the same women that complain that no man talks to them or approaches them. You know what? You want him to go up to you? You have to go up to him at this point because that's the reality you've all created.
You have to go up to me at every point, straight up. Like this isn't a new thing. Like you have to come to me. I have a high self-esteem. I don't go to other people. Straight up. So most of the females who like I have talked to, aka like I started a conversation with them, is because they were already in my vicinity. So it's like we had a class together. They sat next to me. The person who sat 2 rows over from me, nothing. I don't even fucking know their name. I know this person's name because you sat right next to me. I'm that kind of person where it's like I'll talk to you if you're around me. I'll talk to anyone. Like that's something that I pride myself in. So if you're in my area, in my vicinity, and you're like, and I see you all the time, like I'll talk to you. But the thing I'm never going to do is just go up to someone. And I think maybe I don't know if I was taught to not do that. Maybe I was taught to not do that. I don't know why I've never gone up to people. I don't know. Maybe I need to do some reflection to like figure out why I've never really gone up to people. And that's not to say that I've never asked like a girl out. It just means that I'm not the kind of person to see someone from afar and be like, oh, let me go over there and talk to that person. I've never been that way. Most of my friends are that way. And I've never understood like why they would go out of their way to go talk to someone. To me, it was just like, I used to call it caking. That's it's I guess slang that I grew up with, called caking. Like, oh, that man's a cake. Oh, he over here caking with his girl, like that kind of shit. I think that's the same thing as simping. I think, or please tell me if y'all know. I grew up with caking, so I think that now it's called simping. I think, but a lot of the guys I was around, like they did that kind of shit. Like their whole demeanor would change when they would be on the phone with their girl. They like start talking like, oh my gosh, it was disgusting. Ugh. By the way, they all got like raked over the coals. Like even one of them even decided to be a stepdad. He wanted to. No.
Just to let you niggas know, we don't need y'all.
Oh, she don't need us.
We want y'all, but we don't need you.
This is what I grew up with. That's what I grew up with hearing right there. Let me turn it up because I don't think it was loud enough.
20
at this point because that's the reality.
And by the way, the way she said it, like the accent or whatever, that is exactly what I grew up hearing. Mine, like when I was a kid, is how black man ain't shit. We don't need y'all. All these types of things, like.
You've all created.
And just to let you niggas know, we don't need y'all. We want y'all, but we don't need you.
20 years later.
Our black men, we want all y'all back. Because we love you, we see you, kings, and most importantly,
we need you. No. Try. No, absolutely not. You don't get to say for 20 years how bad we are and how much you don't need us and how like we the lowest on the totem pole. Like all of these things, you don't get to say that, and then when you realize that nobody wants you and that you really not all that now all of a sudden we're supposed to come and save you. Nah. I'm happy to watch you be on. Like I'm the person where like I don't feel anything when I see a black person or like a black woman living like homeless. We have black women who are homeless now, pushing carts at the Costco. I'm like, it's new because we didn't used to have all that. It's starting to happen over the past 3 years. Like there are people under that bridge, under 59. There are black women living under the bridge on 59. You want to know how I feel about it? No kind of way. I don't care. No fucks. Why? Well, shit. Man. They don't give a fuck about me. I'm not needed. They're strong and independent. So my mindset is you can strong and independently get yourself out of the situation. Just like I was able to get myself out of my situation while never claiming that I'm strong nor independent. In fact, I often will say that I'm quite the opposite. I depend on other people. I need other people. I'm not independent. But it's ironic that all these people who are so independent can't even help themselves. I am strong. I will say that. Like I'm actually strong. I don't think I have to say it. You can see it. Like I can show like workout videos of me, squatting 600 pounds. I think that's what strength is. Like, or the ability to work for 10, 12 hours a day for years, for decades, and not even be fazed by it. To me, that's what strength is. It's not saying I'm strong and independent and lying to yourself, gaslighting yourself, thinking that you are something that you're not. They played themselves. They got a lie in the bed that they made.
And most importantly, we need you.
We need you. We need you. Man, get that out of here.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you. You see these 65-year-old women videos going viral where they say, I walked with a feminist. I bought into the argument of being a feminist. Man was an enemy in my life. I'm 65 years old. I've never been married. I have no kids. I will never be able to experience what it is to be married to a man when I was in my 20s. The concept of feminism stole that away from me. Just because I looked at man as the enemy, and he's not.
Truth, right? Okay, whoa.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to share this, who this creator is. I'll just like it. By the way, none of these have likes because, again, they play on my TV. When I'm here, I don't know if y'all notice when I'm live streaming, there's always stuff playing on the background. This is that stuff. So I got to make sure I like it. If y'all notice that I don't like something, please remind me. I want to make sure I'm liking these videos. So this is a guy named Man Guy. Okay. 24 minutes of modern. We're not going to watch this for 24 minutes. I just can't. We're gonna go a few minutes in and see if there's some interesting stuff, maybe skip around, and then we're going to go to the next thing.
Whoa. You just said, hold on, wait. Did you just say every woman here is a pick me? Wait. How is understanding how the other species operates and
wait. All right, wait. I've noticed this. Why in the fuck are they calling us another species? Are they that retarded? Are you like, do they not know what the fuck a species is? See, the thing is that human beings, we are one species. One. Human beings, we are the species. That is the species. We are the species. And in that human being species, we have two sexes. I know some people get it confused and they don't understand, but I'm sorry if you don't understand. Your mama and your daddy should have taught you better. I'm here to tell you, we got the female and we got a male, right? Of the same species. We're both humans, which is why when we come together, we produce, guess what? Another species. Not another species. We produce another human. We don't produce a hybrid, like a new, like that's not what happens. Anyways, I had to, I've heard this a lot from females specifically. They'll describe us as the male species and it's dehumanizing. And honestly, it's speech like that is the reason why if I were to ever see any of them in any kind of trouble, I would just watch. I wouldn't do shit because I've already been told I'm not needed. And I believe all women because that's what they told me to do. I believe them now. They told me they're all strong and independent. So if any of them were to get in any kind of situation, my expectation is that they have strength to independently get themselves out of that situation, and I will just stand by. What I can do is I can call the cops, call the government, the state, who they think is going to come and protect them, and let them handle it. But like now I've completely withdrawn from this idea that I should have to protect someone simply because I'm a man, mainly because they have withdrawn from the idea that they should have to serve someone because they're a woman. So it's like, if we don't want to have these traditional gender roles, then like that goes both ways. So, it's going to be a tough situation for them, because unfortunately they're going to have to learn the hard way that they can't protect themselves. And it's not my fault. Like, I'm not saying this because it's a belief or an idea. It's this literally how it's natural. And this is the case in many different types of animals and species, where there is a clear divide in one sex, where one is going to be the stronger, and they're the ones who are really meant to protect everything around them. But I don't know. When you go against nature, you go against God, what you end up having is a flood. And I think that's going to happen. What's up, Kyle? How you doing? By the way, I'll rewind, because I'm assuming you didn't hear this. And I don't know if what she's saying is bad yet, but she said something that was stupid to me. So I had to pick it apart.
Man, when I was in my 20s, the concept of feminism stole that away from me. Just because I looked at man as the enemy, and he's not.
Truth, right? Okay, whoa. You just said, hold on, wait. Did you just say every woman here is a pick-me? Wait. How is understanding how the other species operates and what they value, what they want, a pick-me? When we always say, when we always say that they need to understand women, it's like, how are you supposed to be in a relationship with someone? When you get in a relationship with friends, you try to understand your friends and you want them to understand you, so you can grow that relationship, so you can be the best friend they have in that relationship. How are you going to be one-sided and say, oh, we don't need to understand men, we don't need to know this about men, they need to understand us and how we operate? And that's a pick-me if we try to understand how they operate, to be able to have a good relationship, to not be single at 40 with 12 kids, to not die alone with a dog. How
she gets it. Like, even the species thing, like, she gets it. This is what a mature woman sounds like. An adult. Like, and women attack this, and they're calling her a pick-me because like she has a reasonable argument. I'm not even gonna lie, like just by the way she's talking, like I am attracted to her, and so I guess, I don't know, maybe they find that they have an issue with that. Like maybe she is a pick-me. Maybe that's why I'm drawn to her, because what she's saying, it makes sense. I don't want to be around someone who only talks nonsense. I want to be with someone who can have who can at least use logic. You don't have to use it all the time. I understand like there are differences, but like at least understand that you may be off. And she seems like she understands it. I'm good for her. No, you're good. Been unpacking the box. Had to mark a 3D print and retry. Oh, okay. You had one failed, I assume.
Was that a pick-me?
Well fucking said.
Because you think that they're understanding, or they're like,
are they not human?
No, of course they're human. You think that it is like, it's truth, it's gospel, it's like determining the facts. Like I cannot accept that.
You think
those
what's
things
true?
determine a woman's value.
What's true?
Like
what's gospel?
You saying that
You're an idiot.
That's all. She not even, like, she hasn't said anything. She's just talking in circles, and she's too dense to realize it. It's quite sad.
Certain women don't.
I'm sitting here with just this horrible realization. I have spent most of my days figuring out how I can become physically, mentally, financially, spiritually healthy enough to be able to afford and take care of a child. And not only have I taken that time, but I've done the math, and it does not work out. I am not young enough, or fertile enough, or financially stable enough to even do another round of IVF. And at 36. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you're gonna say, like, you have time. Like, I don't. Because I can't spend another minute of my life trying to make something work when I'm just fighting upstream. I don't have a support system. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources or the community.
Is it just me, or is I'm the only one who's not caring? Like I okay. So what? I don't have a support system either, or at least I didn't. I didn't get on YouTube or TikTok or whatever and complain about it. In fact, I'm just bringing it up now just to show the difference. Like, no one cares. But that's the thing, is that they can put their stuff on the internet and get all this attention and sympathy from, you know, simps and other females, and then it's like they say they don't have a support system. It's just like, you don't see that? That's a privilege. I see it as a privilege, but maybe you don't see things as a privilege if you have it. You know, you're blind to it, right? Isn't that what they say? And isn't that what they say in like critical race theory? It's like if you have privilege, you're blind to it or something ridiculous.
And it just kills me. It kills me that I had embryos with my ex-husband that were viable, and they're just gone now. And my future with those children and my life as a mother is just, it's gone. And it's not just that it's gone, it's the fact that it was decided for me.
Emotional
by so
damage.
many other people and factors. And that's what kills me. Because it was not my choice.
These fake ass tears, like, I'm sorry, like, I don't care. I wish that we can have a way where I can like react and show her that I'm laughing my ass off. And how little like it's resonated with me. It's like, okay, sure. You're not gonna have kids. Too bad for you. Next. Let's go next. I don't even care anymore. She's rambling.
Flat on their face. The top comments are, Slade, didn't you, queen? Hashtag girl boss. I can buy myself flowers. Fast forward, why am I broken and all alone? I'm ready to see more of these videos. You will do fine because you're a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
You don't need a man.
Yeah.
Strong, independent woman.
They right though. Like this Steve is right. She will do fine because she is a strong and independent woman. She doesn't need a man. So there we are. Like, no, like go to the woods, find you a nice bear. That bear will deal with you.
Independent woman. You don't need a man. Strong, independent woman. The lack of accountability is jaw-dropping. But you should be happy. You're a strong, independent woman. You don't need a man. Your career is more important, girl. Stay strong. The cats are waiting.
This was, I think, a cause of my last one. Somehow, her career as a psychologist was so important. And I was just like, all right, do you? Like, I don't, again, maybe this is bad, but I didn't really care. I'm just like, yeah, like, if you want to do whatever you want, right? Like, if you want to work, great. Great. If you don't want to work, okay. That's where I was, where it's just like, my mindset was, I am going to go make a shit ton of money to the point where it doesn't matter if you work. Work if you want to. Of course, I'm working so that you don't have to work. But no, she wanted to have her career, the dependent and all this. Okay, sure. Go do you.
For you. You go, girl. Queen energy. The kids couldn't handle you, sis. Slay queen. Hashtag boss babe. This is some top shelf.
Wait, we need to hashtag the futurist female. Where is that? We need hashtag the futurist female. Because it is in America. I have a feeling that as we start to get closer to war, I have a feeling that the men who are no longer getting what they want out of this country, and the ones who can, the ones who are probably the ones who are most wanted, they're probably going to dip. In fact, I already have one foot out the country already. Like I can legally work and live in 2 other countries. I have bank accounts set up in another country. So it's like I'm already halfway out. So what happens when more and more men leave? Well, here in America, and the future will be female. It will probably be closer to what they're experiencing in a country like China, who had the one child policy or whatever. And because men are more valued in that society, they ended up, if they had a daughter, they would kill it. Or if they found out that the embryo, not the embryo, but like the fetus or whatever was a female fetus, they would abort it. So now they have an overpopulation of men in China, and they're underpopulated on women. I think we're going to probably see the flip side of that, because we already have more women than men in our country, for what it's worth. So if you're one of the men who can't find a woman, just keep in mind that there are more women than men. So if you can't find a woman, that means a few things. One, they're probably married, which, you know. Number 2 is they're going after the same folks. They're probably trying to come after folks like me once they find out. Like they're trying to come after other folks. They're not dealing with normal people, which is kind of bad, because all girls, like the way averages work is that it's across a population. And so many of them think that they're not average. And they are trying to attract people who are above average, thinking that, you know, because they're able to, you know, pretend to have a child with said person, I'm gonna just say that somehow that person wants them. Unfortunately, I try not to do this. It's only happened twice, but there's been a couple instances where, you know, I've been with someone and they may have felt that we were on the same page, you know, like because we are, you know, doing stuff that I somehow like want them in more than that. And it's quite interesting that they'll I don't know, they'll delude themselves into thinking that's not the case, and oh, you're just saying it's okay until like, you know, I feel nothing and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to deal with you anymore. It's just like, oh, you're an asshole. It's like, okay, yeah, sure. You knew that when you started talking to me. It's like you knew it when you started talking to me. It's not like I hid it. It's not like I'm over here talking nice to you, because I talk the way I talk all the time, and most people who know me will tell you this. I'm pretty consistent in how I talk to people. I do talk to people with respect, but also I talk to people directly, and I'm very blunt. A lot of people can't handle it, but a lot of I work in engineering, so a lot of engineers, we're like that. So it works for me. And in the kind of company I keep, men who are successful, who are ambitious and actually accomplish it, same thing. They're all extremely direct, straight to the point, you know, not really about feelings. It's logical. It's just like, says what needs to be said and move the fuck on. I'm that way. So, you know, I often get described as mean by women. And I mean this. Like I think that's the most common adjective that's been used to describe me by most women. Now, that's not to say that once a person gets to know me, they're like, oh my God, like he's incredibly nice. I'm not nice, I'm kind. There's a difference. But they realize that it's like, yeah, I'm not really truly a bad person. But I'm not going to just go along and get along. I'm not going to just tell you you're right just because you want to hear it. Like, I don't give a fuck about your feelings. So that makes me mean, because I'm willing to just say, you know what? Your feelings are not more important than my feelings. I think that's what a lot of them think. They think that their feelings are superior to yours. So then they're like, oh yeah, well, if I feel a certain kind of way, it doesn't matter how he feels. It's like, I take it the opposite. I'm like, I give zero fucks about how you feel. I care about how I feel. Why? Because no one else does. That simple. No one else gives a fuck about how I feel. So that leaves only one person, just one person to care about me, and that's me. So, I mean, if I had to apologize for not giving a fuck about a bitch because she's over here saying, oh, I don't care, because I care about me. Because I've learned that no one else will. If I can't care about myself, I cannot expect other people to do it. It says asshole in my resume. I still get hired. Well, see, the thing is that I think a lot of people think that they don't want to have assholes in their life, but it turns out that honesty is a very important virtue. And I'm not saying that all assholes have it, but maybe some people are labeled assholes because they're honest. They're not going to tell you something and sugarcoat it. They're just going to say, here's the thing, and it's like, take it or leave it. That's always been me. I'm never going to be out and go and attack someone. I'm never that person. To me, that's stupid. In fact, I'm the opposite. If I see it, I had to fight it now because I just said that if I see it now, I won't do anything. But it's an urge that I have to suppress. Like if I see someone getting bullied, and by the way, the reason why I am the way I am now is because when I was younger, I was bigger than most people, and I would have friends who would get bullied or whatever for reasons. And I would feel a certain kind of way about it. So I took it upon myself to say, all right, well, if you think that you want to do some shit to this person, I'm going to do some shit to you. So I've always been that way. And like I don't know, maybe it's natural that I wanted to protect people, but now it's like, no, I'm good. I'm not needed. Strongly and independently save yourself. I'm going to be over here and worry about me. Truth, exactly what I mean. Yeah, like that's the thing is so many people think that they can get what they want by being a yes man. You really can't. And here's why. It's not the yes men who are getting what they want. It's the people who are unwilling to bend or budge on the things that they want who get it. And then the yes men come to them because they don't have the thing that this other person has. So they orbit them so that they can, benefit from the demeanor of, I am going to take what I want.
Feedback. Some soft guys might buy into the tears, but we can visualize what this Western woman was like before the regret and performative crying. She had a chance to be a decent woman, and she consciously rejected it. That's a fact. As the late Gandhi once said, ain't nobody got time for that. Next clip.
The definition of feminism across the board is the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes.
Yes. Why are we only talking about the female inequalities? Why aren't we talking about the male inequalities?
We do not have the same experience. You are not oppressed in the same ways that I am.
Notice how she didn't answer the question. She avoided it. In fact, she redefined the standard. Instead, she's like, you're not oppressed in the same way as I am. And it's just like, that's a very astute observation. I'm being facetious right now. Like, it's like, of course, like, we're oppressed in different ways. In all honesty, we're all technically oppressed by something. If you want to look at it as oppression. I look at it as we're all subservient to something higher than ourselves. We live in a hierarchy. To some people, they find that oppressive. To other people, it's just a fact of life. To other people, they look at it as an opportunity. For me, I look at it as a fact of life and an opportunity. I know that the world is hierarchical. What does that mean? That means that there's levels of authority. Like you have this, and then someone's over them, more authority. Someone's over them, more authority. That, right? Societies are hierarchical. So, yes, you are going to experience oppression in a hierarchical society. But here's the thing. You're also going to experience it in an anarchical society, like anarchy, right? Where if you have anarchy, that means that each of these groups are they're defining within themselves their relationship status. Well, let's say you have that. Well, when conflicts happen, what's going to settle that dispute? I can tell you that men, we resolve things with violence. So yeah. So what essentially what happened if you remove our current social, like our social, basically what we have now, if you remove what we have in our society right now, what we would likely revert to is a natural hierarchy. And I don't think they want that because, unfortunately, Mother Nature don't care how you feel. It's just fact of life. We're stronger. We're faster. We have more, like we can expand more. Like we built the world. Like, come on, like, just think about that. Like, you really think you're going to outcompete the folks who literally built the world in which you can sit and complain? It's just think, like, you really think that you're going to outcompete the group of people who built the fucking world? All of it. Literally everything. The only reason why, like, you know, we are where we are right now is because of the sacrifices of our forefathers. It's the only reason why we're here. And it's baffling to me how, like, they don't understand that. Like, even I understand that. I understand that my life is great, not because of the things that I've done, but because of the things that were done by the people before me. It's kind of disgusting how little respect these people have for the people who literally died so that they can have a good life. And this is why they need to go.
No, and I'm sure you're not oppressed in the same ways that I am.
You need to acknowledge your privilege first.
I love how she says that. You need to acknowledge your privilege first while also not acknowledging hers. I think it's very clear that if anything were to happen, it's a man's fault. So that seems like privilege to me. If you can avoid all accountability, I would love to be able to avoid all accountability. You know how much further in life I can get if I didn't have to be accountable for my actions? It's almost as if you are state sponsored. Like, let's say, like, let's pull this into like politics. China has companies that are state sponsored. The Chinese government subsidizes their production so that they're able to sell products here in America for far lower prices than American companies or counterparts are able to produce themselves here in America. So, in effect, a Chinese company can come into America and outcompete an American company simply because of Big Daddy State. Fast forward to here, or like move over to here, and now we have the same thing. It's like, it's the same thing. You're being subsidized by the state. Hold on. Like, there's even a program called WIC. Let's see what WIC stands for. I know about WIC because my family was on it growing up. Like, I didn't come from where I am. So it's like, I know about things that most people, I guess, wouldn't know about. But what does this say? The Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children. How is this not privilege? If I lose my job, I can't get WIC. I can't collect food stamps. I can't go to some women's shelter. I can't even go to a shelter. It's like, seriously? And she has the audacity to say you need to look at your privilege first. It's like, seriously? How about you stop being a hypocrite and you look at your privilege first? Because, to be honest, you have more of it, and they will never see it until they don't have it. And I mean, honestly, I don't want that because I don't think that's a good situation for anyone involved. But welcome.
People could hear that about themselves and not be defensive. I think that we could probably push the needle forward a lot faster. As a woman, I'm not sure that I'm concerned whether or not you want to join as a man.
Is that not part of the issue? But that's segregating that's segregating genders. If you're saying that you don't care about my opinion as a man, that goes against everything the feminist movement goes.
I don't care about reshaping and forming my feminism in a way that is digestible for you as a.
And that's the problem. So since she's unwilling to form whatever, then I'm unwilling to do whatever. So it's like both can play that game, but I think we would play that game better. Just keep in mind that, like, the state is currently subsidizing you. The West, the collective West, the states are in decline right now because of you. And once it goes into a point of no return, all these other places are not going to give a fuck about you. And guess what? Neither will I. So it's like, while you're saying these things in this position of privilege, just understand that the thing that's backing you is deteriorating because of you. Men fighting in wars. And I know that you're like, oh yeah, we wouldn't have wars. Bullshit. It's a thing that we all do. We have to fight over resources. And I'm not just saying like humans. I'm saying animals. That's what animals do. We need resources for our survival. And fundamentally, it is our own survival that is most important to us. Like we're trying to ensure our own self-preservation. So if you're in a position when, you're out in the wild and let's say there are no men, you see some food that you want, well, all of the other animals also want that food. And some of the animals want you as food. And maybe if there are men around, like, hopefully they're there to help you. Because if they're not, it's like you stand no chance. And I think men understand this fundamentally too, where we understand that alone, we're not strong. We're not strong alone. We need others. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just dependent on will who needs other people. I'm not strong and independent, so I don't understand.
This soy boy is getting totally railed, and it's hard to pity him. However, this does highlight the main reason men are going their own way to begin with.
Why did he see? I don't like that right there. Where it's like,
no way to tap into the mind of someone that's clinically insane. Trying to reach a Western thought like this is like trying to carry water in your hands across the Sahara. It's a futile gesture that none of us care to explore. Here are the top comments.
And what's funny is, it's not even fun.
Claims that feminism is about equality for all.
Yeah, then dismisses
him completely. I hate three things: feminism, irony, and lists. She is going to have a lot of cats later in life. She's just saying words at this point, nothing actually coming out. Say random words and hopefully they sound meaningful. You can't name a movement after a group and expect it to equally serve everyone.
Here's why feminism without men is effectively doomed. You have to defend your ideas. Ultimately, you have to defend your ideas. Our forefathers gave you a pass and we just adopted the ideas. But like fundamentally, when it comes down to like what's happening in our country where people are starting to, things are starting to get a little more tense. You're going to have to fight. I mean that literally, for your ideas. And chances are men aren't going to fight for those ideas because they're not men ideas. So it's like feminism is a movement that can't stand on its own without men, which is the ironic part. Just think about it. Like all of these like laws and privilege, like all these things that they have, just keep in mind that it comes because of men. If men opt out, then you have nothing. I don't think that should be that hard to comprehend. I understand this. Like, let me remove it from gender. Let's look at it from a racial standpoint. I understand that, at least in our country, like we have this concept of races, like we have different groups of people. I understand that I cannot exclude myself from everyone else and still expect to get far. I'm just throwing out too many people. Like the numbers don't work. The potential don't. It just doesn't work. The level of experiences or the diversity of experiences, it just doesn't work. I have to I guess I don't have to, but I'm going to say I have to. I have to depend on these other groups of people. I can't completely write them off. I have to work with them. I have to live with them. I have to love them. They're my fellow countrymen. Like I fucking have to love them. They're my brothers. Essentially, if as a nation, we're a group of people who have shared ideals, values, cultures, like all these things. Sure, we may come from different paths, but it's like at the same time, we all accept. At least I think we all accept. I hope we all accept the values that are instilled in Western culture. Yeah, and you're not representing everyone, and you're excluding half the population. And by the way, that half of the population is the half of the population that enforces social order. It's like, come on, are you dumb? Maybe she is. I don't know.
Everyone. She literally demonstrated all the things he was trying to point out and all the things she was accusing him of. Valid points, but again, they're only going to fall on deaf ears. These
All right,
chicks
we'll
are
watch a
members of
couple more minutes of
Jonestown
this and then we're moving on.
making, and there's no reason to. She parrots.
You know, the man is supposed to be the breadwinner. I would like to like.
What is this? What is she saying? Is this 1950s? What do you mean the man's supposed to be the breadwinner? I think not. No, we're equal. I am not supposed to be the breadwinner anymore. This is not the 1950s. I don't have to go to work every day and give my paycheck to some woman. This is not 1950s. Now, if you want 1950s, you're going to behave like someone who was in the 1950s. The only way I'm going to work and making all this money and coming home and giving my wife any kind of my money is if she is at home, cooking my food, cleaning the house, and raising my children. That's it. I don't care about their degrees. I don't care about what school they went to, what job you have. I don't give a fuck. That's my expectation. If my role is to go and be a provider, like it's like then you need to exist in your role, because it's not going to be this. I'm going to be in this role and then I have to accept you in some new bullshit. No, that's not how it works. Because I'm happy to be alone, and I think that there are a lot of men who are just like me. We're happy to just be alone. And hell, like anytime I want, I can book a flight to any country on earth that I want to. Moment's notice. Even now, I could do it right now just to flex on y'all. Just book a fucking first class flight to. I could do it. I'm not. And they need to understand this, that at a certain point, again, the men that they want, I don't think we want them. Like if I'm in the position of power and I have all these funds, why would I deal with someone here when I can go to some other country and deal with people who are not fat and not combative and who don't think that they are my competition, or people who think that they're competing with me? Like, I don't want that. I will happily fly 18 hours across the earth to go deal with those people over there. You know, they speak English. I know that a lot of people think that they're uneducated and they're all poor, but the ones I talked to, they went to schools like Harvard out here, or some of them went to Yale, some of them went to Stanford. Like they went to American schools, but they live in the East. So I mean, are they saying that these people are dumb? What's interesting is it's always like it's black women too who'll say, "Oh, these women are dumb." It's like, have you seen the stats on, like, really? Okay, sure.
And the nickname Saggy Maggie.
Saggy
Next
Maggie.
clip.
I believe
messed up.
The man is supposed to be the breadwinner.
To be fair, what she's saying, I don't disagree with her. I believe that too. I just am not willing to play that role anymore. But yes, I grew up, with the expectation, at least that's how my grandfather raised me, and my, the men who are in my life, is that I'm supposed to be a provider and I'm supposed to do what it takes to make sure that my family is safe and secure. That's how I was raised. So what she's saying, I actually don't disagree with her. I fully agree that I think that is the man's responsibility. In 1950s. In 2024, hell nah. We are equals.
I would like to talk about, maybe having a weekly allowance or something.
How much was
weekly allowance?
So how much is a weekly allowance?
Like my last relationship, he was giving me like $2,000-$3,000 every week.
So why did she leave? I know why. I'm just saying. It's a rhetorical question. He's like, he's giving me $2-3 grand every week. Well, if he was giving you that, you should have stayed with him. Or did she think she could do better? Or is it the case that he was just pumping and dumping and she got a high sense of herself and now she thinks that that's her level? She gonna find out.
Isn't it funny how some women associated providing men with money and money only? Whatever happened to a man providing information,
right.
education,
Yep.
guidance,
Yep.
advice, or
Yep.
even behavior improvement?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why some women consider a man giving them money being the provider of the relationship? Because that is the only thing they would accept from a man. A lot of modern women, they don't want no guidance. They don't want to be told that they need to do better as the female in that relationship. How could that woman from the previous clip, I'm not judging her, how could she be an asset to his life? How can she bring improvement?
Well, that's not an asset. She's literally a liability. She just said that a person like will have to give her $12,000 a month, $9,000 to $12,000 a month. As someone who has the funds to be able to do that, I would never in life do that, ever. I wouldn't even give you $50 a week. Honestly, I wouldn't give you shit a week. The fuck? No. Like, now I have to think. I'm like, no, I wouldn't give anything a week. You'll get zero. If anything, you're going to be giving me something every week. What the hell? Nah, you got me fucked up.
To his life. Actually goes for a lot of women out there. A lot of women, they are so cool and so content with spending a man's money that he clearly works hard for and don't even pack the man's lunch. Girl, please. These women, they don't even want to master the basics in a relationship. They don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to do none of that. They just want to sit there, be pretty, and spend the man's money. And what kind of world do you live in, honestly? And especially, what are you going to do when you get old? Whose money are you going to spend then? You're going to be alone and ugly.
Is there any real question?
I mean, she's not wrong. I wish more people thought like her and understood this. And I wish my counterparts, the BWs, it could be more than one thing. It's a double entendre. It could be big or black, whichever one you want it to be. But like, it could be both. Whereas like, they all will be upset that people like myself am not considering them. Like, they'll be like, oh, like black men, they don't want black women. It's like, well, one of them talks like this and the other one talks like she's talking. And you want to know what? Like, I would go with this person. Why would I go with somebody who, I would go with her. And also, she's not big. That's a big one. Well, I'm not about to be with somebody who weigh more than me or who weighs the same as me. I weigh 215. I'm 6'4". There is no reason that any person I'm with should be within 60 pounds of my weight. In fact, I have a rule. If I cannot curl that weight, I can't be with you. Right now, I'm kind of weak. I can only curl about 100 pounds. I can only do 100 pounds right now. But I'm working out. I'm going back to the gym. I'm trying to work back up. When I was maxing out, I was doing about 135. I was never able to do 140. That was my goal. But I got injured, back injury, and I stopped doing it. But yeah, like that's my rule. It's like if I can't curl you, then there's nothing. Dead ass. It may sound silly and stupid to some of you, but I don't know. I think it makes sense. I'm like, if anything were to happen and I needed to like carry you or in some things, like I need to be able to physically do it. And I know a lot of people don't think this way, but I think this way. I'm a motorcycle rider, and I used to have my fiance on the back with me. And these are things that I would think about. In fact, if you go and watch my videos of me riding, you may see that I'm always looking around and talking and like talking about people and what they're doing and looking in my mirrors. It's because I think about shit like this. It's why I wear full gear with full protection. It's because I think about shit like this. So yes, I need someone who I can physically pick up if something happens. And if you weigh 200 pounds, I'm not picking you up. And I need someone who's fit enough to be able to run. So like, if we need to get away from something, like you may not be as fast as me. That's okay. Like I'm outrun you regardless. I'm gonna pick you up or outrun you, either or. But it's like you need to be able to at least run a mile or two. If you some like big roly pole looking woman, it's like I'm not gonna wait for you. It's like you're gonna get left. Because I can't pick you up and you slow and you out of shape and you can't run 1/8 of a mile. So it's like, well, survival of the fittest. Literally.
Question as to why men are looking overseas for a wife these days? The quick answer, absolutely not. These chicks think they can make being Eiffel Towered at a local Wendy's a lifelong career. Not only that, but they think a high-value man will be...
I knew a girl in college who got Eiffel Towered. In my room, I didn't join. I didn't join in the fun, but it was in the room. I was just like, I was just like, okay, all right, sure. We were cool though. I mean, she ended up giving me her car. Like whenever I needed to go out to go get groceries or I needed to go get food or whatever, she would always loan me her car. So I was just like, you know, like you're nice to me. That's all. You're nice, you know, like you do you, but you know, I wouldn't do that. That was I'm like, I would. Yeah. Anyway, she was nice. She was a nice girl. You know, I don't hold anything against her. I wasn't interested in her like that, but it's just interesting how that turned out. Cause I didn't, this happened my freshman year. I think my second semester, freshman year. And, it wasn't until like sophomore year. Cause I mean, obviously we had known each other cause we lived in the same hall. She was a couple of doors down the hall. And of course she was in my room. So yeah, like let's just say I knew her, you know, and yeah. So I remember we ended up getting assigned to different dorms in our sophomore year, but we were still really cool. And I mean, I think most of them from that particular dorm, they all knew my position. Like I wasn't well off. I didn't really have anything like that. So they were always really nice. And believe it or not, they were white. Like this, I went to a predominantly white school. I didn't know it at the time. 3% black, and half of that were from Africa. So let's just say that it wasn't a lot of me there. But yeah, that was my first real like just like being and living with people who weren't like me, and they didn't hate me, which that kind of destroyed the racism myth for me right then at age 18. It's when that myth just, was I 18 or what? Yeah, I think I had just turned 18. And yeah, that myth was completely blown away when, you know, I'm living in my dorm, my roommate, he's a white guy from California doing baseball. My suite mates, white guys, my hall mates, you know, white, Hispanic, you know, from different areas, like not Hispanic, maybe Latin American, from different countries within South America. And one of the things that I recognized early on is none of them gave a fuck that I was black. No one, they didn't exclude me from anything. They're like, no, they called me by my name. They didn't call me black. They didn't call me light skin. They didn't do any of that. They're just like, they called me William, my name. And this was, you know, for the whites, the Asians, the Indians, the Nigerians, the Ghanaians. We had some folks from South Africa as well. I think we had like a couple folks from Uganda. It wasn't that many, but it's like, what I recognized then and there is that, you know, this myth of racism, I think is bullshit for the most part. And it's only been reinforced throughout my life. You know, in all of the countries I've been to and all the different types of people I've met, not once has anyone really come up to me and said, you know what, we're not going to help you because of anything. Like, I've never experienced that. So for what it's worth, let's go on. Let's see what else she has to say and move on to the next video.
Be waiting around the corner to give them a raise for doing so. It's the same reason so $1,000 times 52 weeks equals 156K. I am just doing the math. Like 2 to 3K every week? No way did that happen. No freaking way.
It probably happened. It probably happened. I know that a lot of folks, they'll look at $2,000 to $3,000 as a lot of money, but it's not. Just saying, like for people who, when you have money, like $1,000, that's not a lot. Seriously. This is a watch. Honestly, this not even like this. Like a Richard Mille is 450K. A Richard Mille is 450K. 100 and whatever. That's not that much. It is a lot to just, you know, to get and do nothing. I will say that, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much money.
Notices, she says, in my last relationship, clearly she wasn't worth keeping with.
That's
that
what I
mindset.
noticed.
Passport, anyone? She was getting a 3K allowance weekly and she still left him? The catch. In my last relationship. Sure. Money.
Yeah.
For what? For what? That sounds just like my last 2 relationships. The minute I stopped giving them money, they gone. Who's paying her 3K per?
Fortunately, in my last relationship, I can honestly say it wasn't about money. In fact, I was actually told like I don't need. She didn't even want that kind of life because she grew up rich. Yeah. So I've never dealt with folks who are with me for my money. I see I got a new comment from Zanny. My dad is around 55. I'm helping him make his first app. Crazy role. Yeah. Yeah, you should. It's definitely, it's cool helping people do stuff. And honestly, that's really what entrepreneurship is, in my opinion, is you help people. Obviously, you have the business stuff around it, but fundamentally, you're creating value by helping people accomplish whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish in their life.
Some of these comments and echoing others, there's no way in hell this 304 had a past relationship. No value.
About how being an independent woman is so much better, and it's amazing that you don't have to depend on anyone else, but I'm exhausted.
What I learned in couples counseling, yes, I went to marriage counseling. What I learned is anytime you say but, you completely disregard the previous statement. You basically turned it out. So what she just said, she didn't even have to say the first statement. It's irrelevant now. She's canceled it out by saying but. That's the special thing that word but has. It just fucking anything before it, wipe it away. It doesn't matter. Now, I know that you may not agree with it, but I love taking all of their tactics and using it against them. Like, it's like I know the things that they teach. 'Cause I went to therapy, not therapy for me, but like therapy for relationship that right. So it was like, oh well, maybe I should do that because she wants to, kind of thing. So yeah, I learned all these things, and I wish I could bring up some of the things, but yeah, let's just keep going.
I own my own house. I can pay my own bills.
Oh, you're an adult. You own your own house. Wait, hold on, wait. We need to give her a round of applause. Let me find it on my soundboard. You know what? I can't find the round of applause. So we'll just give her a DJ horn. Congratulations. You have a job. You have a house. And you can pay your bills. Congratulations. You're just like the rest of us. Oh, congratulations. Oh, go you. You go queen. How could you do it? You're so strong. Oh my gosh. She has a job. She can do shit that people can do at 14. Oh my gosh. I was paying bills at 16. She's fine. Oh, I'm grateful.
I work full time.
Oh look. Oh, she works 5 days a week too. Oh my God. Oh, so brave. So brave. You have a job and you work full time. You go 5 days a week. Oh my gosh. Oh, you go queen. Oh, what else are you doing? Like, what else do you do?
I'm single mom.
Oh, you're a single mom. Oh, you let them hit it raw.
It's just
She let them hit it raw. And now you're a single mom. All right, we'll go on next. I don't care about you anymore. In fact, I never did.
So in today's video, I'm going.
All right, so this video, I've actually watched this one. I watched this earlier today, and this is actually what made me think, oh, maybe I should do a live stream talking about what's going on in our society. And the reason is because I actually keep tabs on 4 different major regions for reasons. All right. Like let's just say I know a lot about a couple regions, and I keep tabs on what's happening because I'm a firm believer in being able to recognize what's happening in one place and seeing that it can also happen in another place, and start to look at what happened to lead to it, and start to see, well, are we doing things that they did that led to this? And we are. Anyway, he's talking about this. We may watch the full thing and we may end it here. Let's see. Maybe I'll go 3 hours. Yeah, maybe I'll go 3 hours. By the way, if y'all start having conversation, I'll definitely go 4 or 5. I'll go as long as needed. But yeah, this creator is Chinese historian, and oh wow, okay. In just a few hours, he's already jumped up almost 1,000 subs. Oh, good for him. Yes. Please go and check out his video. Obviously, I've already liked it because I watched it earlier when I was walking Roscoe. Go and show him some support. He's talking about some very like important things that I think we're going to start to suffer from if we don't change what we're doing here.
I'm going to talk about a very dark topic. This is regarding Japan's 80-50 epidemic. In fact, this epidemic affects many Asian countries, such as their neighboring South Korea and China. So what do I mean by 80-50? So 80 typically means the 80-year-old Japanese grandmother, or sometimes she's just a mother because her son does not have a child. And right now it's estimated there are at least 1 million Japanese men that are into their 50s or their 60s that's living at home with their mothers. And they're not going to work, they're not going to school, they're not going to any clubs or any social events. They just stay home and play video games and watch movies all day because of their extreme depression.
So this is a phenomenon in Japan, hikikomori or something like that. It's something that I've been following for a couple of years. And I watched a documentary a year ago about this same thing now happening in South Korea. And like these younger people are dying alone in their homes. And people aren't finding out until like, weeks late or months later from the smell or whatever. So I first caught on to this happening in Japan years ago. And then about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, or I think it was a year ago, I watched a documentary about this same thing now starting to happen in South Korea. And now I'm noticing that we have more men in America who are virgins at age 30 and who've never had a girlfriend. Like, so this is why I pay attention to these things, because it's like, if I can notice what's happening in another place and see what the consequences are, well, that means that I can get ahead. And I'm not saying in the relationship market. I mean, like, I can exploit it. That's what I mean.
Depression. And do you know what's led to this? First of all, I mentioned this many times before. Throughout history, a very small percentage of man has actually got to reproduce. It's estimated worldwide to be 30 to 40%. Because back then there were so many conflicts. Every time there's a conflict, men are drafted into the military. Many men simply died in battle. Also, and people always want to talk about, we live in the patriarchy. People want to talk about the past rulers, the kings, the conquerors, the Genghis Khans. How many conquerors, how many kings, how many emperors have there been throughout history? You imagine, let's say somebody like Genghis Khan. He's probably had, 10,000, 20,000 women? So if a king has 10,000 women, you know what that means, right? That means that 9,999 men died alone. Sex has never been free for a man. For a man to get a girl throughout history, he has always had to provide something. So the guys who were extremely broke back in the day, or they were extremely weak, right? They could not produce enough grains to feed himself or to feed a family. Those guys simply died alone. And it is because of this, male baby infants were always more desirable, because back then when people were extremely poor, right, you needed people to work on the field, to do hard physical labor. I'm sorry, ladies, this is just a biological fact, that the fact that men are stronger. So way back then, way before abortion was the thing, do you know what people did? We committed unspeakable crimes against humanity. Many societies, especially Asian societies, were obsessed about having a boy as a child. This is absolutely sick. And millions of these parents, they committed child infanticide. That's exactly what it sounds like.
All right, so that one's new to me. I didn't know that. I knew that they did this in China during the one-child policy, and I thought that was the only time they did it. I did not know that this is a cultural thing going back hundreds of years. This is new information to me. I know I said I watched it, but I was walking Roscoe. I watched it.
It's like, baby is born, no penis. That's the reality. So throughout history, at birth, there has always been more male versus female. And China's one-child policy has made this system so much worse. There were
okay, all right. So So I knew, this is where I know. All right. So I'm glad that I watched this again, because I did not know that this was the case in Asia going back this long ago. I didn't know that. I thought it was just in China as a result of the one-child policy. Yeah, that's okay. So this is why the demographics are off. Here, let me show y'all demographics in China, for instance. China demographics, age, gender. I forget the name of that graph. It's like the demograph. It's literally like this thing. Yeah, a population pyramid. Yes. Okay. Now, what you should notice is the disparity, right? Like these are not equals. Like there are more females than males. That's the issue in China. More females than males. Now, it's not by that. I mean, China's a large country. You know, I think they have over 1 billion people. I say I think. I don't trust their numbers, but I do think they have over 1 billion. And I like, even if it's only, you know, 1 million, like 1 million difference, like that's still 1 million people. That's large. Even though as a major percentage, it's small. So just keep that in mind. Like you may look at this and be like, oh, it seems like they're equal, but nah. I'm sorry. I'm saying the wrong word. I'm saying not males. I'm females. I meant males. I'm sorry. Did I say the right gender or sex? I think I said, yeah. There are more men than women in China. That's what I was meant to say. There's a shortage of women in China. And I think that's a result of that child policy thing that they have. And you can see that here. Like not we, but like they outnumber. Let's see. Do they have a percentage that can just show a basic percent of split? Yeah, here we are. Nope. Gender, let's see, demographics. Now, I think that stuff like this should be studied because we don't want to do it ourselves to see, right? So it's like, if they've done it, we didn't tell them to do it, but they've already done it. We can learn from their mistake. This is why I care about this, because I think we may start to see something like that here in our country, and that won't be good for any of us. I wish that this just gave me the percentage. It's not giving me the percentage. Okay, here it is right here. So 51.13% of the population in China are male. It's the opposite here in America. We have more females than we have men in our country. So it's a little interesting tidbit of information.
Gender selective abortions, and as a result of this, between Gen Z and millennial Chinese, there's over 40 million more men versus women. Also,
oh my God! Wait a minute, I had to play my.
Oh my God!
40 million. That's a scale wow. I was thinking it was like 1 million. Whoa. 40 million? Oh my God. Just okay. All right. If the balance is 40 million, the only way that this can be the case is if they killed 40 million people. Wow, that's yeah. I didn't know it was like 40. God damn, like all right, shit.
So, along with the rise of third wave feminism,
wait, did he say 40 though? Let me make sure.
As a result of this, between Gen Z and millennial Chinese, there's over 40 million more men versus women. Also, along with the rise of third wave feminism, dating has become so much harder, especially for the Asian men. I'm sure many of you guys.
Did y'all know that? It's a 40 mil, over a 40 million difference. This is actually concerning for a few reasons. I know this is happening in China, but I don't know. I've been to many places. We're connected. Every country, like we're all on Earth. We're all connected. We're all one people. I know we like to pretend we're not, but if there are 40 million men he said millennials, like in my generation. So that's I'm like a few years younger than me and a few years older than me. These men don't have a purpose in life. Or at least they'll feel that way because they can't find a mate. This causes social issues. And social issues within a country are very hard to deal with. And dictatorships tend to like to externalize the problem. So I can easily see a situation in which things get out of hand in China due to whatever social, issues they're having. And then the CCP turning and pointing the finger to the collective West. And I mean, maybe we have some things to do with some things that they're going through. I don't know, maybe. But that means they have 40 million men who are probably willing to die. Oh. Fuck. I was watching a documentary on former criminals, like who are big in organized crime, like gangs and mafia, MS-13, that kind of stuff. And the one thing that they all said, and this was very interesting. Now, maybe the editors could have made it such that that was the message. Okay, all right, man, all right, appreciate it. Gosh, wait, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Never mind. Maybe it'll come back. I read the message and then my train of thought went.
It's the term passport bros. Listen, anytime there's an interracial marriage that takes place in the Asian society, over 90% of the time, it's between an Asian woman and a non-Asian man. Most of the time, it's
I've noticed that too. I'm at a point now where I consider them the same. I'm just like, oh yeah. I'm like, you don't get to call me, you're not Asian to me, you're white.
White Western male, sometimes Asian and black, sometimes Asian Mexican, sometimes Asian Indian. Over 90% of the time is an Asian woman marrying out. That's just the reality. And if you look at all the...
Well, to be fair, I think all races of women are willing to date out. I think it's a survival instinct. Like, it doesn't matter as much to them. I don't think this is just Asian women. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I don't know. Like, obviously he has a better pulse on what's happening here. Like, I mean, full disclosure, the first person I was like, she was black, but her mother is Filipino, from Philippines. So like she was, I guess like she was mixed. How about this? Biracial. How about that? And then my second was Asian, Southeast Asian, from Singapore. So yeah, and I've also had some interactions with folks from Taiwan and Japan. So yeah, there's that. And I've spent time there in the past, and I'm not good. I won't say I'm fluent, but I'm gonna say I can barely read and write and speak Chinese. How about that? I can say I can understand things, but yeah. So I'm not entirely clueless to that culture. Plus, I'm a student of history. Like, I like world history. I learned about the history of all of the major empires, including the ones in Asia. We had ones in Africa. We had ones in Asia. We had some in the Middle East, Central Asia, South America. I know a lot about all of these different empires and what they did and the cultures and all that. The religious philosophy. These are all things that I like. I just like learning about, people and the things they believe in and what makes them tick and why they are the way they are. Like, I like that. To me, that's one of the most profound things about life is that there are people who are not me. To me, I prefer that. Like, I prefer being around people who are not like me. Why would I want to be around people who are like me? I'm not learning shit. Like, I don't know. I just think that's dumb. I want to be around people who are different from me. Not necessarily like different but we share some values. Like, yeah, different, but we share some values.
surveys conducted worldwide. The least desirable ethnicity for male, the group that always comes out at the very, very bottom, is Asian men.
Is that true? I don't know. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I thought it was black men. I thought we were at the bottom of the totem pole. He's saying that is Asian men?
That's why I said life is not fair, right? Diversity, equity, inclusion, it's all bullshit.
I agree. 100% agree. 100% agree. Hold on, I gotta find something. I can't find it. I can't find. Oh, here we are. Yes, 100%. DI is a fucking joke. I hate it. I hate that shit. It's so disrespectful to those of us who worked our ass off to actually become competent and to be to really master whatever it is that we're doing and to excel in everything that we do. It is a slap in the face that there are now people who can come into the same places that I'm in and didn't have to earn it. I absolutely despise it. 100%. In fact, I think it's the most racist policy we have going on right now in our country. And I don't like it at all because it goes against what my role model said, which is we should be judged by the content of our character and not by the color of our skin. And here we are just saying, you know what, screw what he said. We're going to do this. We're going to put these people in position because of the color of their skin. I want to make this known. I know this is public and I know people will see this, but if you are someone who ever considers me to work for you and the only reason you're doing that or to be a part of your team or whatever, like the co-founder, if you're doing that only because I'm black, I can't be a part of it. Straight up. I don't want to deal with you. That's racist. It's disgusting.
It's just the way the world is set up. Listen, hookup culture is just simply 5% of men sleeping.
Hookup culture is literally the apple that the snake tempted Eve with. That's literally what it is. Because they all engage in it and then they realize it's not what they expected. And then all of a sudden now it shouldn't matter. And it's just like, no. Like this is what happens.
Around with 90% of the women. A guy doesn't care. A guy could be a top tier, a millionaire, top 1% man. If a woman that's well below average, that's a 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, man, I fully agree with you right here. The only reason that you should be put on a team is because of your merit. That's it. If you're not willing to work to put yourself in a position based on merit, then you don't deserve to be there. Agree or disagree, I don't really care. It's this is how I feel. And I think that the reason why we are deteriorating as a country, not only in the quality of the products that we produce in our industry, but also in the quality of our education, the quality of thought, the quality of our discourse, is because of shit like that. It's because we will say, oh no, math is racist. You want to know something? Why the fuck am I so good at math if it's so racist? Why am I good at everything that I do? Everything that's now being said, oh, it's racist. It's is it though? Or are they just dumb and lazy? Because I think they're just dumb and lazy. And if that makes me a racist, and so be it, I'm a racist ass dude. They dumb and lazy. Maybe these people, whatever race they are, I don't even know what race they are. I guess that makes me racist, not even know what race they are. But whatever these people are, if they're not willing to earn their position, they don't need to be there. They can starve. That's how it's always been. And this coddle society that we've been building, it's leading to this disgusting place that I don't even want to be a part of. I'm at a point now where I hate paying taxes. And I mean, I've always kind of disliked it, but I pay a shit ton of taxes now. And I'm like, you know what? I'm considering leaving. Why should I continue to put into this type of ideology? I'd rather the people who want to be a part of it be a part of it. Unfortunately, it's hard to get out, but I would have to go to Africa because they don't have extradition treaty. I would have to go to Africa because they haven't been conquered by the West yet. I mean, they have, but not in the same way. It's not in the same way. They don't really play as nicely with the West, which I'm not mad at. They shouldn't. Anything else is a slap in the face and a boost for your dumb DEIs. Yeah, I mean, it's, oh man, yeah. I really, I feel a certain kind of way about that DEI shit. It's racism. And as someone who's black, that shit scares me. Because I remember the stories that my grandparents used to tell me. And I don't want that shit to come back. I didn't have to deal with the stuff that they had to deal with. I'm very well aware of that. My grandmother, by the way, she graduated valedictorian of her class. You want to know what? She couldn't go to college. 90% of the reason why I went to college is because my grandmother couldn't go to college. I looked at it as like, they wouldn't let so I'm going to do it because I can. So it's like this idea that we should fight racism with more racism is idiotic to me, because what's going to end up happening is other people are going to come who don't give a fuck about us. We're already a small percentage of the population. We'll become an even smaller percentage of the population, and we'll lose even more power. And these other people, they coming from places where they don't care about racism. That's not a thing to them. Like, man, I wish these people knew. And I'm not even just saying from people from the East in Asia. I'm talking about even people from Africa. They don't think like us. They not over here saying, oh, like we got to treat everyone fairly. Nah, it's about them and them doing well. I wish people here understood that. Oh, gonna fuck up a good thing.
Or if
I have options, so it's like, I can easily dismiss it. I have options. I can go to other places. Will, when you said you leave, you say leave, you mean give up your citizenship, otherwise you paying taxes. So you can't give up your citizenship to avoid taxes. But no, you wouldn't actually pay taxes unless the government has an IRS facility or a branch in that country. We have IRS facilities and branches in most countries, but not all. A lot of them aren't in Africa. A lot of them aren't in certain parts of South America. They're also there are also certain parts of Asia, like, hell, maybe I'll just go to one of our enemy states and go to fucking Russia or China. Believe it or not, they actually, I don't know, I've been like, they didn't seem to hate me. They seem to be just fine talking to me. They seem to be just fine inviting me into their houses. They seem to be just fine talking to me about life. So I have a feeling that I can go wherever the hell I want and be all right. And sure, you could say I have to pay taxes, but here's the thing that you got to understand. You pay taxes on your income. Huh? Keep that in mind. You pay taxes on your income. I just won't make American income. It's that simple. That's the thing, is that you can't control someone who doesn't value the thing that they want you to value. I don't value money in the same way that the rest of you value money. So for me, I'm like, okay, I grew up poor. I was happy. I'm pretty sure I can be happy poor again. In fact, when I went to some of these countries that are much poorer than America, all those people were much happier than the people here. What that tells me is I don't need money or any of this bullshit to be happy. So sure, yes, if you want to have a job and make all this money, yeah, you'll need to have, you'll pay income taxes. If you have an American job, for an American company that has anything, yes, you're going to pay it. However, if I want to fucking sell food on the side of the street, no, they're not they're not going to tax that. And I don't need that much money to live. That's one of my biggest growth moments, was when I realized that all of the shit that I thought that I needed, I don't. And all of a sudden, all that power that, that all these people had over me fucking disappeared. Cause it's like, what's the work? Like, what can you do? What can you do? I don't fear death. I don't fear homelessness. I've been homeless twice in my life. I don't fear poverty. I came from it. I don't have fears. And I know that that's part of the reason that makes men dangerous, is because we can develop ourselves, or we can get to a point to where we don't have fear of shit, or we're willing to die for something bigger than ourselves. And I'm definitely in that camp. So it's like, this is a no-win situation for me. I'm like, well, you could take my ass to jail. You could pay for me to live. Shit, I don't give a fuck. I don't have to pay. It's like, put me in jail. I'm free in here. I'm free in my mind like that. I live in my head. And people have described me and said, I live in my head. I don't like this real world. I don't like it at all. Like even now, like this life that's supposedly so great, I don't find it that great. Anyways, dude, the shit Call is doing. Wait, dude, the shit Cali is doing. Banning advanced placement is just a race to the bottom. Yeah. Also, getting rid of SAT, the standardized testing, and ACT to get into college. Yeah. But you know what? Here's where I am. In general, if a state wants to do what they want to do, fine. I don't care. I don't live in that state. I'm not Californian. I don't really care about California. I live in Texas. So whatever California does, fuck them. I don't care. And I don't mean fuck them in in a bad way. It's just like, yeah, like fuck, like yeah, they can do what they want. It's their state. That's the beauty of America is we have 50 of them and a few territories. So it's like if you don't like what they do in one state, take your ass to another state. That's how I am. Where it's like that's fine. If they want to do that there, great. Now, here's where I have an issue is when these people who come out of these schools think that we should value their degrees. That's where I have an issue. It's like, all right, yeah, if you want to diminish the value of your degrees and your education, go for it. Do you? That only helps me because that means I have less competition. Less competition means I make more money. Me making more money means that I can do more shit that other people can't do. So it's like, yeah, go for it. Remove all the requirements, make it such that, by the way, they lowered the qualifications for medical school students in USC and UCLA. Not USC, UCLA. So now UCLA is no longer one of the top medical schools because their students are coming out incompetent. That's when I start to have an issue is when those students come out and then they expect to be given jobs or whatever, or maybe they're even given jobs. That's when I'm like, okay. But even now, I don't get medical care in America. If I haven't bought medication in America, I haven't seen a doctor in America in since 2018. Wait, what year is this? No, 2018, 2019, one of those years. I don't remember. I haven't done anything with American healthcare. If I need anything, I fly. Like my medication, last time I bought medication was abroad. I bought 7 months of my asthma medication. I don't even take it every day. So it's going to last me for a couple years. If I need to see a doctor, I go there. In fact, in other countries, they have a facility, a pharmacy and doctor office in the airport. So I can do this shit at the airport before I even go out. Or if I come back, I can get whatever medications I need before I leave and head back home. So yeah, I'm one of those. But I do understand that not everybody can do that, right? Like not everybody can just hop on a plane and just say, you know what, fuck here, I'm gonna go somewhere else. But it is what it is. Let's see. Will, when you say leave, you mean give up? Oh yeah, I think I answered that. Are you gathering passports? No, not right now. I have visas I have my American passport. I have a visa I have an investor visa because I started a company in Singapore. So technically I don't need a passport. Like I'm not trying to become a citizen. The max I want to do is maybe a PR, like permanent resident. But even then, like that would be a last resort. To be honest, I don't want to leave America. I prefer my country. I love my country. I was born here. I'm raised here. My home is here. My ancestors are from here. Like I'm very connected to where I'm from. So I don't want to leave. So no, I'm not really gathering passports, but at the same time, I'm not going to just sit idly. So I do have stuff in place where if shit were to hit the fan here, I can do it. Quick, fast, in a hurry, assuming the plane's still, if the planes are still running. But even then, I can still dip. I don't live that far from the Mexican border. Just drive a few hours south. I can fly to Mexico and fly to wherever I need to fly so I can get to wherever I need to get. And at that point, if we're in that kind of situation, you better believe money is not a problem for me. I say not a problem. I mean, like, shit is so bad here to where it's like, I don't care about what the cost of things are. It's like, I'm just getting the fuck out of here. It'll be one of these situations where if I'm leaving in that kind of situation, all of my shit is staying here. Like, I don't care about it. It's like, I'm abandoning it. The only thing that's coming is maybe Roscoe, if I can take him. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. You read about UCLA Med. Heard some surgeons can't identify an artery. You know what? Did you hear about the lowering of the requirements for FAA? What do you call those people? Flight controllers for the FAA? Air traffic controller, ATC. Yeah, air traffic control. So they've reduced the requirement for that, and they are now starting to hire mentally challenged people in those positions. Mind you, that the FAA, specifically the ATC, the air traffic controllers, they're the people that make sure planes land and take off safely, and that they are safe in their route, because, you know, planes are flying and you don't want to hit another plane. That could be bad. Those are the people responsible for that. It's an incredibly important job, and it is not easy. I can tell you this because I'm in the middle of getting my pilot's license. I had to learn some of these things. That shit's hard. It's not easy. And they're lowering the requirements. People's lives are literally at risk. And we're starting to see it happening at Boeing. Like, the issues that Boeing is experiencing, it's because of that kind of, that same culture. It's the toxic, it's poison.
If he goes up to the guy and says, you know what, my cookie is free for the night, of course the guy's gonna smash. Guys don't care. So what this leaves our society with?
No, I wouldn't. And that maybe I'm rare, but I think we've established that I'm already a little different. But if some girl were to come up to me and just say that, it would be a hard no instantly. I wouldn't want anything to do with her. It would be an instant turnoff. I know other guys will be like, oh man, if some girl just came up to me and just like, nah, I don't care how pretty you are, how interesting you may, like, none of that matters. If you just came up to me and you said that, it's an automatic no, and I don't want anything to do with you in the future. And my mindset is not like, oh, I must be so great. It's like, if you would come up to me and say that, that means that you probably done that to other people. And I don't want someone like that. That's disgusting. Like, I was supposed to go into where other men went? Ugh. Lesser men? Ugh. And here, how do I know they're lesser? Well, maybe they're not lesser. But it's like, you left them, so it's like, well, you didn't think that highly of them. So if you didn't think highly of them, then, like, why would I want to think high? Like, why would I think highly of you going after that? No thanks.
Especially in the Asian society, in countries like Japan, in South Korea, and in China, is that there are tens of millions of men who ends up dying alone. I mentioned this in the past before. The fact that, you know, I'm 31 years old. I tried dating for 12 years with zero success. I couldn't even find a single date. The standard in modern society, especially in Asia, for dating a woman, for marrying
12
years?
Off
the charts.
Wait, 12 years? He's 31. Damn. I didn't know it was that bad for some people. Man. So just a little bit about me. My first like kind of date, I guess, or whatever, I was 14. So yeah, to be 31, that's interesting. These days, I'm single by choice, and I really, really mean that. I would pull up some conversations to show it, but then that would put other people out there, and I don't want to do that. But I am very much single by choice. Maybe that's what he should do. Maybe he should just stop caring, and maybe they'll show up. I think that's, honestly, I don't know. I don't understand it, but it's like, I don't care about anything, and somehow people still come to me. It could be because I'm tall. Maybe. I doubt it though. And the reason why I doubt it is because I'm black. I've always been told that we are at the bottom of the dating totem pole. So I've never expected anyone to really like look my way without me being someone who's built up himself. Right. So I almost look at the fact that my skin color is almost like a disadvantage when it comes to that kind of stuff. So for me, it's like, well, I have to make up for it with other things, like being relatively intelligent, or making a relatively decent amount of money, or having experiences that most people just don't or won't have. You know, basically becoming interesting, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's interesting that his thought is that Asian men are at the bottom. So I wonder if white men think they're at the bottom, and I also wonder if Mexican men think they're at, or Hispanic or Latin American men think they're at the bottom. I would like to know if all men think that they're at the bottom, because that could be the case. We all think that we're the worst.
I didn't come up with these numbers. You can look up this. This is news from South Korea. This is the official figures by the South Korean government. For an average South Korean man to get married in 2024, he needs to have an estimated net worth of 200,000 US.
Bro, that is so much. Most people in America don't even have that as a net worth. Most people in America don't even have a net worth. Most people are in debt. They have negative net worth. They are liabilities. Well, technically they're assets. Yeah. when you really understand how the economy works and how our financial system works, technically those people are assets. But they are liabilities on someone's balance sheet. But on someone else's balance sheet, they are assets. Why are they assets? Well, if you are in debt, aka you're negative net worth, that means you're in debt. If you're in debt, that means you're paying interest. And if you're paying interest, that means you are an asset. Like somebody has given you their money and their money is now working for them, aka you are now working for them. They gave you their money so that you could do whatever bullshit you wanted to do. And now you get to pay them back in full plus interest. So now you are essentially working for them. By the way, this is how you win, by the way. Loan money. You can loan it to the government. You can buy bonds. You can loan it to company by buying their equity. You can loan it to startup founders by, investing in their things. You can basically, this is how you make your money work for you. And it's not really making your money work for you. It's making other people work for you. That's really what it is. It's making other people work for you. Man, I'm sorry if some of y'all have debt and y'all pay interest, but I'm paying some interest too. I just bought a new Ducati. I'm paying interest on that, but I only pay like $2,000 total. And that, yeah. So it's like, that's not that big of a deal. And I do pay interest on my student loans, but that's only like 5% on a $38,000 balance. And that's APR. So it's not really that much money for me. So yeah. Anyway, I'm also paying with inflated dollars. That's another thing. That's another fun thing about loans. Like if you have a long loan term, like a student loan, which is generally 10 years. Well, I know that inflation is year over year. So I'm going to increase my income. Yes, it's inflated, but also hopefully I'm surpassing inflation. But I'm doing this effectively is paying with inflated dollars. I'm paying with dollars that are worth less over time. So I don't have a problem. I'm like, especially these student loans, I'm like, I'm going to pay them off over the full period allotted to me, not a second further, although I did pay off half of them. When I graduated college, I was $140,000 in student loan debt. And I've since paid off over $100K of it. So, yeah. Yeah, I had to get, that's a lot to be, 5% interest, 100, that's a lot. So I had to get that shit off the books. But at $40K, interest is negligible.
Dollars. 200,000 US dollars. Do you know why? Because the marriage requirement in many Asian countries today is that the guy has to have a house. Typically in Asia, it's a condo. So on average, for example, in China, you need a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom condo. The average size is about 100 square meters or 1,076 square feet. That's the average. You're expected to have a car. It has to be a certain level. For example, you cannot have a 15-year-old Prius. It has to be at least a brand new Honda Civic. And in China, they also ask...
Oh, a brand new Honda Civic? I think I would do well there. I don't have a brand new Honda Civic, but I don't know. Like, if that's all I had to do. That's a cash car. Like, seriously. I shit you not. When I bought my G-Wagon, my down payment was a car. I think I put $70,000 down. That was a car on the G-Wagon. I didn't put as much down on the GT3. I think I only put 40 down on the GT3, but that's also a car. So what I'm hearing is all I had to do is put just go buy a new Civic in cash and I'm good. I'm golden. Hell, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna become a passport, bro. Maybe I'm gonna go and live out east. find me someone out there. If that's all I got to do.
For a cash payment, typically at least 200,000 Chinese dollars, or roughly 28,000 US.
No way in hell. No way in hell. 28,000. No way in hell. I gotta pay. No way.
I'm not making this up. You can look this up. This is, by the way, this is not if you want to date some swimsuit model or some actress coming out of China. That is just any girl off the street. They ask you for 28,000 US dollars, and on top of that, you have to pay for the wedding in full. You have to pay for the honeymoon 100% out of your pocket. On top of that, you have to buy at least 4 pieces of jewelry for your girl. And on top of that, you have to spend at least 3 months of your salary on a wedding ring. If you think I'm joking, you can look this up.
All right, so here's the thing. I've noticed there's been this trend of men, like passport bros, going to Asia. And this dude is talking about their expectations in Asia. Now, I know for a fact that a lot of these passport bros, especially some of the people who I've seen who are like from my community, they not in that kind of position. They don't have that kind of money. Like you can tell by what class of flight they're flying. They're flying economy on, like they're not living like that, right? I see the hotel they're saying it's 3 stars. They're not living like that. So these men in our country are thinking that they're going to go to these other countries. He's talking about China, but I'm pretty sure this is in Korea and some other places too. Going to these other places, and these women, to me, that sounds like a higher expectation. In fact, honestly, what it means is that the women there seem smarter to me. That's smarter. They're saying, you know what? We don't care about income. You need to have a net worth of this. Whereas in America, they only care about income because they associate income with I can spend this, which is ass backwards. Because I'll happily tell people like my salary isn't that high. I mean, it's decent, but like it's not like astronomical. But I have a net worth. So it's like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, I make money with my other things and it all adds up to where it's like over in a year, it's like I'm decent. I think they're doing it better. I'm just being real. They're saying, you know what? Like, no, you need to have this, you need to have stability. I can't be mad at it. If they get what they want, go for them. Good for them. They won't get it from me though.
This is all 100% real. This is also the reason why that what happens is all of the women, all the requirements they're listing ends up being a very small percentage of men. If you look at the dating in China, all the top 1% men, they all have a bunch of side women. In China, it's called a
side pieces.
Little 3. That's roughly
Shaosan, little 3. Shaosan
translates to a mistress.
Is that Nishang? Shaosan Nishang?
Percentage of men. If you look at the dating in China, all the top 1% men, they all have a bunch of side women. In China, it's called a xiaosan, little 3.
Xiaosan? Xiao. Huh, let's see. Xiao. Oh, well, not Xiaosan. Show. Pronounced by one. Wait, here, show. What is this word? Oh, it's a syllable. Okay. So he said show song. Show. Honestly, I thought it would be shao san. Shao san. Which would be this right here and san. First tone. Like that's what I would think little 3 would mean, or shout. I misspelled it. Let's use Google so it can correct my spelling. Let's do translate. Shao. San. Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe that's why it's show san. All right, so let's see show. Show. I'm trying to think how would you spell show in Roman in Romanization, because I've never heard show song. I've heard of shao song. And like, is it new song? Let's see. New. Why is this not working? Okay, new song. Oh, no wonder. Okay, okay, here we are. So we'll do Nishan. Okay. Yeah, I've never. Yeah, so Shilshan. That's new. I've never heard that. All right. Well, you learn something new every day. Let me hear that pronunciation again, so I can remember.
They all have a bunch of side women. In China, it's called a xiaosan.
Xiaosan.
That roughly translates to mistresses in English.
Oh no, it is xiaosan. Okay, okay. Maybe he has an accent. I don't think I have an accent, but maybe I do. My tutor and my when I was in school, my teacher in college, he learned in Beijing, so he spoke with a Beijing accent, and like just think R pirates R everything's R, but also my current tutor is from Beijing, so maybe that's why I'm like he may be from somewhere else. But when he says show, I'm like, what? Show son? Because like show son, that would be like new three, like show son. But yeah, all right, cool. So I think he meant shout. Oh, he even said it. Oh fuck, it's right here. He wrote it. It's shout. Okay, my bad. I'm dumb. All right. This is one of the cool things about live streaming is that y'all can see the idiotic things that I do. This whole time it was written here. And I didn't see it. So I just wasted everybody's time. All right, let's go.
Sometimes what happens is these top tier men, they bring up their wife to dating shows and they confront them with their mistresses and they have these huge fights. And sometimes it's hard to feel sorry for these women. I'm sorry, ladies. You ask for all of these requirements. So what ends up happening is that you all end up meeting the same guy. And the same thing is happening on mainland China, in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, in South Korea, and in Japan. So many
right there. So the same thing that's happening here in the West, it's infecting them there. And I know why. They come to our schools. In fact, the girl who I was with, the Singaporean girl, how we met in college. We went to the same college. So she was educated in the West. She was in psychology. She bought into that whole thing. You know, everything that I did is a red flag. I remember like I remember on our second time going, we were together for like 5 years. But I remember our second time going out, she confronted me about some red flag. I'm like, I noticed these red flags. I was like, the fuck? I'm like, I'm just out here just enjoying your company, and you over here looking for fucking red flags. Yeah, they educated here, so yeah, It looks like a lot of places are experiencing it. I would understand South Korea. They have a strong American presence there. So does Japan. So I guess and honestly, so does Taiwan. Taiwan is interesting. Here, let me show y'all some footage of Taiwan. I can show y'all footage of these other countries too if y'all really want. Let's see if I think I should have it in photos. Hopefully, let's go to places and. So for what it's worth, I've had my iPhone for about 4 or 5 years. I bought my iPhone before I left, and these are the places I've been since I had my iPhone. But I also had Android. I'm a former Android person. For what it's worth, and then I switched. But yeah, let's show like what it's kind of like. So this is me driving in wherever this place is in Taiwan. And what I want you to notice is look at the lights. Wait, is it going to play?
Oh, I won't have audio, so you can.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, but
Oh wait, let me turn. I told her I wouldn't have the audio, so I'll turn that one off. We'll play this one. But like, notice how the sidewalks. What? Oh fuck! I hate photos. Spacebar on every other app plays and stops except for on photos. Anyway, all right, so look at the side right here, the curbs. I know a lot of you aren't going to notice it, like you won't really appreciate this, but these are American curbs. These are what American curbs look like. And when you go to other countries, the curbs are more sloped and they have the black and white thing, and like that's what these are American curbs. Oh, another thing. They use the same it's 60, is it 60? Yeah, it's 60 hertz. For their power supply is 120 volts, just like America. So you take your plug, you go to Taiwan, you don't need a converter, you don't need a transformer. It just works. You look at their street signs, which let's see if we go past the street sign. By the way, yes, this is me driving in Asia. So like I'm for real. I've actually been places, you know. Fuck. All right, so we'll go to this one. I'll just turn it down so you can't hear whatever it is she was about to say. I don't know what she said. Yeah, you look at these signs. Look at like, oh fuck. All right, just calm down. I fucking hate Apple. Their software is so trash. Okay. Notice that sign. You see how that crest? Can I zoom in? Yeah. You see how it has that crest? That's how our signs look. They have the same signs. The traffic lights, they're the same as ours. If you go to other places, the traffic lights, they tend to be either vertical or they're like backwards, as in like the order is different. This is American traffic lights. So just go to show that like it's is a lot of Western influence there. Now, obviously the architecture is different. You know, they have more scooters and all that kind of crap, but there are a lot of things that are very Westernized in these countries. Let me see if I can show some other regions in this place. What is this? Is it gonna work? Nope. I'm looking for signs. You know what? Let's go to a city. Let's go to one of these cities. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I walked around in this city. All right, we'll go to a list. Can I do that? How do I? Man. It would be really dope if I can just see a list of these photos, but it's impossible and it's frustrating. So I'm not gonna do it. I just can't do it. I can't deal with it. I just can't do it. Fuck it. I can't. Apple Photos is trash. I give up. All right, let's go back to whatever it is we were talking about, which is him.
Of these men, they end up becoming so broken. So many of these men, they can try their hardest, you know, since their teens, since their 20s, 30s, and 40s, and they've been rejected so many times that they've completely given up on life. They've been driven to a rapid state of depression. In Japanese, this is officially diagnosed as a medical condition. There's a word for it, and this word in Japanese is called hikikomori.
That's the thing that I remember. There was this thing that came out a long time ago, at least relatively long, like over 4 years ago, and they were talking about this. And this was, I saw it during the pandemic. By the way, for me, the pandemic started in 2019. I was in Asia. Just so y'all know, I wasn't in America. I came back to America as a result of the pandemic, and then the shit came here. By the way, I had to go into quarantine twice in my life. For real quarantine, not this bullshit American that we did here. But I'm talking about like the full, you're in a room by yourself for 2 weeks. Oh, it was the worst. I did that twice. So I've spent a month of my life in a room alone with, so like it strengthened me. I can be alone forever now. I'm just like, man, I don't need nothing. I went through that, and honestly, I found peace within myself. I realized that I'm never truly alone. You know, there's just that thing, that voice, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but we have conversations. It's like I'm never really alone. All that to say, maybe I went crazy for being alone for that long, or maybe not. I don't think I went crazy, but yeah, I remember seeing this phenomenon happening, and I found it really interesting that like this was, you know, what they were doing, and I can understand why, because I may have went through something like that too, where it's like, well, I wasn't living with my parents. Like I kind of moved out when I was young, but I kind of just like, you know, not really remove myself from society, but I stopped caring and like trying to be nice and all that. Like I stopped doing all that. Basically, I became an asshole is what I'm trying to say. And never look back.
Which means a form of severe social withdrawal. This is the result of decades of rejection by women in society. These men, they get so severely depressed. Many of them have to be put on antidepressants. Many of them have to see a clinical psychiatrist regularly because of their rapid depression to the point of no return. It gets to the point where they get to a certain age. For many of these men, it's sometime in their 40s, where they can no longer go to work anymore in order to support themselves. So they're forced to
Damn.
move back.
So,
with their,
so this is the kind of stuff that I was seeing in South Korea happening a couple years ago. Is this type of stuff, like they're starting to live like this. And they're dying young, alone, and like no one even knows about it. It's a problem. It's a problem. I know I'm not South Korean. Honestly, I didn't really know much about Korea until I went on I'll tell the story. My TRX got stolen from here, and it got stolen 2 days before I was meant to leave to go to a day. It got stolen the day before I was meant to fly out to California. I was going to spend 3 weeks out there, 2 weeks in Monterey and specifically Carmel. 1 week for Monterey Car Week, 1 week just hanging with my mentor, and then I went up because I had a offsite at work for a week, so I went up for that. And while I was on my layover, I was kind of pissed off about my truck being stolen, my Ram TRX. I was pissed the fuck off. I remember I had a layover in Denver International Airport, and the flight got delayed. And oh my gosh, man, I lost it then. I got pissed off about that too. Ultimately, I ended up just like walking around that disgusting airport and watching the YouTube video. And all of a sudden, a YouTube video, I like food, a YouTube video of Korean fried chicken showed up. And they had this fried shrimp. I can show it to y'all if you want. I don't remember the exact video, but I can show you the kind of video that I saw. So we'll say Korea fried chicken. Just so y'all can get an idea, or in Korea. Let's see. So these types of videos here. This video popped up, and I saw this shit, and I was just like, "What is this?" And I saw Korea. So I shit you not. I'm sitting there while I'm on a layover. Not a layover. I guess it's a layover. Flight delayed. My truck is stolen. I'm pissed off. I don't want to go back home. I'll book a flight there. I'm like, fuck it. I'll just go to Korea. So I went from home to California. I stayed in California for 3 weeks, and then I went to Korea. I stayed there for 2.5 weeks. And I learned a lot about Korea. I didn't know anything about the place. I ended up going to the border with North Korea. I wanted to go to North Korea, but they said that North Korea, due to COVID, they closed the border. South Koreans can't go to Korea, but I can as an American. I was able to go. I would have had to go through China though, which is whatever. But I didn't get to do that. But I still got to learn about some of the things that are going on in Korea, and it put it on the map for me. This is why when I saw that video, and I was like, wait, let me watch it. Because a lot of people here, they look at Korea and Japan and all these other places. It's like these cyberpunk, the future, whatever. Like they look at it as that, and yeah, it was quite the experience. Actually, I enjoyed it though. Like all of the Korean people I met, they were incredible. They were very nice. Nobody gave me any kind of shit. Like I had conversations, like full on conversations with with some of the uncles and some of the aunties. That's what they call. I don't know what they call it in Korea. I can't speak Korean, but that's kind of what it means, like uncle, auntie, the older folks. So I ended up talking with some of them. I met some folks there. It's kind of cool. In fact, I plan to go back. I meant to go to Busan, as well as what's the island here? I got to show the island. I don't remember what it's called, but it's on this Jeju Island. That's what it is, Jeju Island. So when I went, there happened to be a monsoon that came. So 5 of the days I couldn't really do shit because of the monsoon, but I had intended to do a tour, because when I go to any country, I don't just go to one city. I go to everywhere, as you probably noticed one of the other ones. But I started in Seoul. My plan was to go to Busan. I had intended to stay in Daejeon. One of my mentors, one of his employee, I don't know. Like my mentor said, he owns a law firm. So like one of his lawyers at his firm, he used to live in Korea. And when I told him that I had booked a flight, because I was visiting my mentor at that time, I told him I had booked a flight to Korea. He's like, oh my gosh. He's like, he started telling me all these things about Korea. He's like, make sure you stay in Daegu. I was like, okay, well, I'll go there. I told him I had planned to go to Busan and I didn't know where to stay. He's like, well, if you had to choose between Daejeon and Daegu, I would just go to Daegu. I was like, okay. And then I told him that I wanted to go to Jeju Island. And I had all these things planned, but weather didn't work out. So I only got to spend time in Seoul as well as Suwon, which I can show in photos. I can't show it really because it's going to trip out, but I can kind of show it to you. The cities that I went to. So as you can see, as a result, look, you can even see I have the umbrella. So this was, I think the day before the stuff, like it kind of started raining. Yeah, but it was a lot of rain for me, which wasn't great, but I got to go back. Oh yeah, see, that's me with the umbrella. And I'm pretty sure I have video of some of the Suwon stuff. Not Suwon, some of the, what do you call that? They're not hurricanes. What do you call it? The typhoons? Is that what they're called? Monsoon? Someone who's not from here, let me know. Like, I don't know what the weather is. It's basically a hurricane. Their version of a hurricane. It's what happened. And yeah, wasn't great. Oh, and I got the fried chicken too. Hold on, I got to show you. I actually ended up getting the fried chicken. Let me find it. Wait. Where did I stay? Where I got this fried chicken? Was it here? Man, now I need to find this fried chicken. This shit was delicious too. No, it's not here. I wonder if I took that with my real camera. So here's another problem that I face. I have more than one camera. So oftentimes I'll take pictures and videos of shit and I'll think that it's on my iPhone, but it wasn't. Or it'll be on some other device like my iPad and I don't really, it's not connected to iCloud because I don't have the storage. It'll be like, oh, you don't have enough storage and I don't want to deal with it. All right, yeah, I guess I won't find it. I can't find where I stayed, where I got that chicken. It was delicious. Oh my gosh. But I got ramen. I think I remember where the ramen place was. So right here. And yes, I am going back specifically for this ramen. Oh my gosh. Talk about I gotta go back. Here, let me show it to you. Look at this shit. Oh. Look at that. That's chicken ramen though. That's chicken ramen. Nah, going to North Korea is not a one-way journey. See, the thing about propaganda is that it works. So yeah, Korea, like there's a lot of things wrong with Korea, North Korea. And yes, it is very much a repressive, all this kind of shit. But you can go to Korea and they actually have shit there. It's not like, like there's some beautiful architecture there that I wanted to document. I'm a photographer at heart. So I wanted to go to take pictures. And yeah, so I didn't get the opportunity to go. And it doesn't look like I will ever get the opportunity to go because I didn't make it quick enough. If I would have made it, before 2019, I likely would have been able to go to North Korea and be able to say I went to North Korea. But it's unfortunately not. Now, some people have an entitlement attitude. I understand respect. I lived in the Middle East for a while. All right. So, I understand respect culture. In fact, I come from a respect culture. In the South, we have a respect culture here. It's different. So yeah, but this ramen is, oh my gosh. Look at the cream in this. That's chicken ramen. That's chicken. That's not pork. That's chicken. I mean, you know what? I could actually do content like this. I would actually prefer it. I think he was making the stuff for the pork, like whatever that is. Not the pork. I'm sorry, the chicken. I think. And I shit you not, like I learned enough. I learned how to recognize Korean characters, bro. Because like when I went, like I swear to God, I didn't know anything. I was just like, I'm gonna just go. I show up there and I'm thinking that it's going to be like some of the other places where I went where it's like, they have English everywhere. No, the opposite. There is no English nowhere. I was like, So I got really good at looking at because I would use Google, not Google Maps, because Google Maps doesn't work that well there. They use some other kind of, is it Line or I forget. They use some other kind of map thing and it's all in Korean. So what I ended up having to do was I would find a place, on Google, and then I would look for the like nearby signs or whatever in the Korean, and I would just do pattern matching. I would look and be like, oh, this must be it. And I was there long enough to where it became easy. I was like, oh, I can look at this thing and be like, oh yeah, this is the same word or character or whatever. And even now, I still recognize chicken. I shouldn't admit that, but I recognize chicken. It looks like a chicken though. It literally looks like a chicken. I'm gonna have to show you the character if I want to find it. By the way, this place was so good. I went twice. See, look, September 14th, September 12th. I went twice. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good. So good. All right, now I got to find the chicken place because I'm talking up this chicken. I forgot where I stayed. That's why it's hard for me to find it. I don't remember where I stayed. My first day. Honestly, wait, let me see if I can find it. Maybe if I just zoom out. Bucheon. No. It was near LG. It was near here. Yeah, it was near here. I remember doing this walk from where I was staying at that time, and did I cross the bridge? Was I living on the other side of the bridge? Huh. I don't know. Well, shit. I remember coming up to here. There's like this park that I walked through, and was able to get to this river, but I don't see it anymore. This train. No. Maybe it was further in? Nah. Well, unfortunately, I can't find that hotel. But I can show you the other hotel. I'll say that was pretty dope. Let's see. Oh, wait. Maybe. No. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, so this is probably where I'm only going to stay from here on out whenever I go there. This is in Gangnam? The Gangnam style. That's all I know, Gangnam style, however you say that. I'm like pulling up here. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just like here, back like my experience here, or when I lived in the Middle East. Like everything is what I'm used to. Like they got the Bentley folks there, and if you need a ride, they can give you a ride. Obviously that's a Maybach, but they had Bentleys there normally. So if you needed a ride to go anywhere, you can hop in the Bentley. I think they had Rolls Royces there too. So this is Jeju Palace. No, not Jeju. Joseon Palace. Let me find a dope. Yeah, let's look at this. So this is the. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, so this right here is the check-in lobby. So check-in lobby is different from the entrance lobby. So fuck, it did it again. So yeah, you can kind of see.
Thank you.
I'll show the views in a bit. By the way, it may be a little blown out. That's because this is an HDR on my computer. And unfortunately, live streaming on YouTube doesn't support HDR. Even if it did, you would need an HDR display to have it render properly. But here you can kind of see the views. So it's on, I think this was on the 34th floor. And I want to say I was like on the 40th or something, maybe. I don't know. And I did one of these. So yeah, look more. By the way, if you're interested in staying here, I think it's like $400 or $500 a night. It's not too bad. Oh yeah, shit, that's my camera. Look, this is my camera. So maybe I have footage somewhere. I have to figure out like where it is. I probably have footage somewhere of that view because it was pointed out there, you know? Joseon Palace. Okay, that's what it is, Joseon Palace. And there is an amazing noodle shop right around the corner that when I go again, I'm going to this noodle shop. And I'm pretty sure they'll remember me. That's one of the cool things about being my complexion. A lot of people like me don't really travel to places like this. So they remember me. And I mean this, I remember my first time I went to Singapore was 2019. I wasn't able to go in 2020 because of the pandemic. I went again in 2021. The hotel staff remembered me. And then I went again in 2022. Welcome back. 23. now they just know who I am, right? So it's kind of cool where you get to go places and they recognize who you are. Hello, Mr. Shepherd. I'm like, yeah. This is my first room. I ended up staying here twice. This is the regular room, I guess, like a deluxe room.
Luggage already here.
And of course, they bring luggage for you. And I can't fit in the tub, obviously, because I'm tall.
Oh, look, they have a regular size robe that I can actually wear. Toilet area.
By the way, that is that's a bidet. It's a self, like you don't even do anything. You just sit down. The seat's warm. It flushes itself. It squirts water up your butt to clean your ass. Look at it. Look, see, it's just gonna open.
Is this one of those Japanese?
Yep. Look at that. Even sprays the scent.
Oh my gosh. They call it spray the water up your butt. You have a tub that I can't fit in. This is, yeah, I can't fit in that tub. All right, I guess my room is okay. I may upgrade during the rest of the week to a larger room, like a suite or something.
By the way, they didn't have the suite. So my status entitles me to like
Actually, I could work here.
upgrades to suites.
Yeah, I don't like to work
They didn't have any at the time, so I accepted this. All right, so that's why I'm saying like for the next, I will go and get the room that I expect. But yeah, it was still a good room. It wasn't bad. I liked it. What's going on here? Am I just taking out shit out of my? Okay, sure. Oh, by the way, the whole like I was going for 6 weeks living out of this. Everything that I had was here and in my backpack. This is how I travel. I packed very well. So you see everything. All that was in my bag and in my little carry-on.
Use one of these cables here. I have a cable. A few cables.
Man, we were supposed to be talking shit about what's going on in dating. How the hell did I get to this? Let's go back to here. We got on food and people living in filth. Yeah, we'll end it here. It's enough. I will finish. Yeah, man, I thought I was going to be able to get through 20 of these videos. Now I understand I'm probably only going to be able to get through 4 at most. So yeah, what's going on in Japan, this 80-50 is that 50-year-old men are still living at home with their 80-year-old mothers. That's the summarization of what he's talking about. That's the thing is hikikomori, hakikomori, however you say that. And I don't speak Japanese, but it's that trend that's happening there. It is now gone to South Korea. It might start going to Taiwan. I didn't notice any of that in Taiwan, but it could jump over to Taiwan. Japan and Taiwan are very, very, very close. Like they share a lot of things. For what it's worth, Taiwan used to be it was a former Japanese colony. They have close relationships now. They work really closely together because they're it's only these 3 democracies. Well, also you have the Philippines. Like you have these democratic states, so they kind of work together now. But yeah, it's just so you know, like that's what he's getting at. And if something isn't done about it, we are all going to suffer. It's not if you're someone who you're like, oh, I don't have these problems. Oh, they picking me, all this kind of stuff. Because I'm someone in that position. Just understand that like this will still affect you, because if our fellow brothers can't find what they want in life, you better believe that they're not going to let us have what we want in our lives. All right. Like I'm very well aware of that. So it's something that I'm worried about. Maybe, let's finish this. I want y'all to hear what he has to say.
That's living off the mother's pension. This is what our society has become. And yes, you can actually die from a broken heart by facing constant rejections throughout your life. Broken heart syndrome, or known as Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. This is a reaction. Your heart has a surge of stress hormones caused by emotionally stressful event. The broken heart syndrome can cause the heart to stop beating, resulting in complete heart failure. This is where our world has led us. It's our ancestors that did this. It's their obsession with having baby boys, especially in the Asian culture. Even in a perfect world, even if let's say all of the marriages are still arranged by the parents, every guy gets matched up with a girl, there will be at least in the Asian culture anywhere between 10 to 20% of men that will never ever find a match. And they have no choice. This is why some of them fall into a rapid state of depression. And this is what's so dangerous about third wave feminism. I mentioned this many times before. Because all of the women are searching for the top tier man, this is where China is becoming. Now they have this new trend. On top of the leftover man, there are tens of millions of leftover women in China. It used to be that when a woman hits 27 in China, if she still has not found a man, if she has not found a husband, she's considered a shengnu, or a leftover woman. But now they push the age back to 30 because there are so many shengnu that the Chinese women are getting freaked out. Ladies, do you know what man value? The man that you want, the high value man? Man value youth, man value purity, and man value beauty. What makes you think that? For example, if a guy is hyper successful, top tier man, he has multiple women pursuing him. Let's say if they're all based, all feminine, all attractive, right? All virgins. One of them is 40-year-old. One of them is 35. One of them is 30. One of them is 25. And one of them is 20. Who do you think the guy's going to choose? No guy's going to choose the 30.
I'm curious. Well, who would y'all choose? Because I'm not choosing anyone over 30. Or even 30. Even 25 might be pushing. even 25 might be pushing it. I'm going with 20. Like, what?
Or 35 for the 40-year-old. In fact, if given...
And then you may be like, oh, they're kind of dumb and immature. No. Yeah. What's the peak? Is the peak much higher? Yeah, so I'm like, I'd rather do it with a 20-year-old, real talk.
Given the choice, every single man out there will choose the 20-year-old. That's attractive, that's a virgin, that will submit to their man. So many women out there, you talk to them in modern society, they say, oh, I'm a career woman. I gotta focus on my career. I gotta become a doctor. I gotta get my PhD. I want to become a lawyer. I want to become a scientist. It doesn't matter how attractive you are right now. As every day goes by, you're becoming less and less attractive. Your best chance to secure a high value man is when you're young. You can go to university. When you're graduating, when you're 21, 22, 23-year-old, you really got to start looking because time is not on your side. You have a biological clock and there's nothing you can do to fight it. And the most dangerous part about all of this, if you look at the studies, for example, if you look at the violent people throughout history, for man and woman it's roughly equal. Man's a slight advantage, maybe 51 or 52%. However, if you look at the most violent people throughout history, every single one of them is man. The guys who committed the worst crimes against humanity throughout the mankind's 200,000 year history. If you go back and look at Adolf Hitler, look at Joseph Stalin, look at Benito Mussolini, look at Emperor Hirohito, look at Genghis Khan, look at King Leopold. The most dangerous, the most vicious, the most evil people throughout history have all been men. So what happens with this, with Japan's 80-50 crisis, with the birth of excess males, with the rise of third wave feminism, is that it creates lonely...
Ooh, I did not know this. I didn't know that Taiwan's birth replacement rate was at 0.87. I did not know that. I thought that China's was... let's see. What China's replacement? China replacement or birth ratio, replacement rate. Oh, okay. So China's still doing better than Taiwan. That is interesting. I know they are on a downward trajectory. Let's see if they have like linear chart over time. What you'll see is, see, it precipitously dropped. Wait, births per woman. Yeah. When did it really start to drop? 1967. Something happened. There's an event that happened in 1967. Okay. All right, and then it drops, and then it kind of recovers. It starts going up, and then something happens again. There is an event. This is Tiananmen Square right here. That happened in 1989, and this right here is Cultural Revolution. So we see drop. Things seem to improve. This is probably when Zhou Enlai was there. Zhou Enlai was, I think he was one of the PMs. Let's see. Zhou Enlai. I don't know the character, so we're gonna have to do it this way. So this is Zhou Enlai. Yes, I know politicians of other countries as well as my country. I believe that being educated is what makes me great. So I know these things. I know the history of things, and I know what he did. By the way, they liked him a lot. This was kind of toward the end of the revolution, the Cultural Revolution, and I think he died or something, or something happened, or maybe he was killed. I forget what happened, but as a result, a bunch of people got upset and they started protesting in Tiananmen Square, the college students, and shit went down. By the way, if you want to learn about this stuff, it's hard to come by the information because a lot of it gets censored. Most of it gets censored. The only folks who really were able to share what was happening are the people who were able to eventually escape, but they had to live through it. There is a woman, what's her name? I don't know, is it Surviving Shanghai? Surviving, I don't know, some lady. Book. Living and Working, Survival in Shanghai, Welcome to Shanghai. Her, Life and Death in Shanghai, by Nian Chang. So if you're someone who wants to understand what the type of shit that we're pushing for is going to lead to, this is a book that you should read. And this is why I fear, like literally, I'm not just saying this, like I actually fear the path that we're going down, because a lot of what I am seeing is a lot of what she described in the 60s. And she lived through it. She was imprisoned. Let's see. Maybe they have like a... Yeah, I'm going to read it. So upon initial public... Okay, let's see. In August 1996 or 66, a group of Red Guards ransacked Nian Chang's home. Her background made her an obvious target. Educated at the London School of Economics, the widow of an official Chiang Kai-shek regime. Chiang Kai-shek is the guy who it was the KMT, I think, the Kuomintang, the folks who eventually lost the Civil War in China and then fled to Taiwan. At no point in time has China actually ever ruled over, well, China's a new concept, but at no point in time has any empire in China ruled over Taiwan until Chiang Kai-shek's, all of his folks, they all went to Taiwan, right? So this is political persecution in Shanghai, right? So anyway, she was an employee of Shell Oil. Chang enjoyed comforts that few Chinese could afford. When she refused to confess that she was an enemy of the state, why is she an enemy of the state? Well, because she's part of the bourgeois class, the managerial class. She's not a part of the parliament. What do they call themselves? The I don't know, the regular folks. I forget what they call themselves. She was imprisoned and placed in solitary confinement, where she remained for 6 years. And she goes into detail on all of the fucked up shit that happened to her during that time. Anyways, Life and Death in Shanghai is a powerful story of Chang's imprisonment, of the deprivation she endured, of her heroic resistance, and her quest for justice when she was released. An astounding portrait of one woman's courage, life, and death in Shanghai, also a penetrating account of a terrifying chapter in 20th century history. This isn't that long ago, folks. It's not that long ago. And the people who survived through this kind of shit, they wrote about it. You can go read it. I have books from people who wrote stuff from their experience in some of not the museums, what do you call those places? The labor camps during the Holocaust. I have books on some of the things that people in Latin America have faced. Shit about stuff that happens in that, all of these places, Russia's literature from Russia. Some of the best writers come from Russia. If you read what they have to say, you will learn a lot about these types of environments that these types of ideologies create. All you got to do is read. But here in our country, we have fucking idiots in our country. We have very uneducated people. We have people who don't understand history, who haven't actually been anywhere. How you 20 think you know everything? That's interesting. How you in college and you think you know everything? Even if you graduate, you only have a bachelor's degree. It's do you realize that you're only one step away from being a dumbass? A bachelor's degree is not that hard to get. I'm saying this because I got one. It wasn't that hard. Anyway, let's go on. I wanted him to finish what he has to say, but I just wanted to give some context into this. So I didn't know that China's birth rate was so, well, I didn't know, not China. I didn't know that Taiwan's birth rate was so low. I thought that China was surely leading, but wow. Anyway, this is China's, and you can see the event. So Cultural Revolution, drop. Tiananmen Square, drop. and then it's stayed here. But I suspect, we're about to crash. Okay, never mind. I suspect that if we get the next set of data, that we're going to see another drop, because there's this movement going on in China where they are effectively lying flat. That's what they call it. They're like I don't know. They have this idea with leaks and something. I don't know. Basically, they're doing something called lying flat. So I expect this to also trend down in the coming future. Anyway, let's go back. We're almost done.
It creates dangerous, violent, desperate man. This is why every single mass shooter, it's a male. Every single case. I believe that we're headed back to a very dangerous time for human history, because there are so many single men out there. For the first time in the Western society, if you look at all the surveys taking place in Canada, in the United States, in Western Europe, in Australia, over 50% of men are single now. For all the ladies complaining about the men you're with, about the guy's abuser, the fact that he's toxic, he's an alcoholic, he's a drug addict. Listen, over 50% of men are single now. Under the age of 30, it's anywhere between 60 to 70%. So you don't want the majority of men. You're choosing the guy that's toxic. That's the guy you chose. There's a reason why over 90% of the deaths from drug overdoses are men.
Wait, he just said something bar, because it's related to the next video that I had lined up, which is Ryan Leslie. He's a role model of mine from when I first got into music. When I first started my YouTube channel, it was because of Ryan Leslie. And there's this whole Cassie situation with Diddy, and she left a good guy. She left Ryan Leslie, a Harvard graduate at 16. He, an incredibly talented person, like multi-instrumentalist, like literally a genius, economics degree. He knew tech. Eventually he started a tech company. He had his own independent record label. All of these things, and you know what? Cassie left this man to go be with Diddy. And now I'm supposed to have sympathy that, it's like, it was known that he was doing shit like that and you wanted to be with him. So it's like, now that she's out here looking for sympathy, that she's getting beat, it's like, I have none. I don't really care. I'm like, you was with a good dude who actually loved you and you fucked him over. And yeah, maybe I am biased because, I looked up to Ryan Leslie. He's something like, I rock out for him. So I looked at it. I'm just like, man, fuck her. That's where I'm at. I'm just like, fuck her.
And there's a reason why the vast majority of perpetrators of violent crimes are men. As we're heading to the peak of this internet dating, of hookup culture, of third wave feminism, what you will end up seeing that there will be less and less safe spaces for women. Anywhere you go, you're more likely to get stalked at nighttime. You're more likely to get raped. You're more likely to get kidnapped.
So this is, all right, so I understand what he's trying to say. He's saying that only they can reverse the trend, because he's saying that you control all the sex. However, I disagree with that, because I think that men can have discipline. Just stop. Like, you don't have to deal with them. That's kind of the approach that I've taken. It's like the reason why they have very little control over me is because, well, I don't care about the sex that much. I can get that easily from anyone. Like, that's not a big deal to me. It's worse. It's almost worthless at this point, especially now, because I never was really that much. Like, I'm not someone who just thinks about that. Like, I don't care about that kind of stuff that much. I get more out of doing other shit, like cooking food or eating food or traveling to some place that's new. I get more out of that than being, oh yeah, I had sex. It's like, I don't know, maybe I started young, so I'm just like, I've had enough to where I'm like, yeah, they're all the same. It's a whole is a whole,
To get assaulted, to be a victim of violent crime, because there are so many single, desperate, lonely men.
I don't think it starts with them. I think it starts with men, specifically fathers. Fathers need to do a better job of raising their sons so that they understand that they have value and what they have control over, which is themselves. And also they need to do a better job of raising their daughters to understand and to look for what is like qualities in a good man. So I mean, he's putting it on women. I'm going to say we can't absolve men. I think it's both. Both need to, do something different or not,
These men, they will be depressed, they will be angry, they will be vicious, and they will aim to destroy this world. And if this trend does not get reversed anytime soon, the Western society, it's gonna soon look like a third world.
You want to know who benefits from it? Yeah, he's not wrong. 6'4" dudes making over 200K with a net worth in 7 figures. That's who's winning. And what's interesting is that they all want someone like me, and they don't understand that, like, I'm not looking at them seriously. I don't want them. They want, and the first video where he says, you're a prize to the guys who you don't want. That's a bar, because that is true. Like, I mean, she's talking, that girl thought she was a prize. I'm like, she's not a prize to me. Like, the hell? Like, I'm like, no, I can do much better. Like, why would I settle for her? The same types of rhetoric they use. Oh, I'll never settle. Shit, I'm the same way. Why would I settle for you? Why would I settle for a broke, dusty B who ain't got no actual job, who ain't got no skills, who driving a broke down Penta? Like, why would I settle for that? That's what they need to be asking. They over here talking about what they won't settle for. It's like, I'm the one with the money. I'm the one with the power. I'm the one with the things that you want. Sorry, Cupcake. It's me. Like, I am the one. It's like, I am him. I am that person. You know, I am that guy. You are just, honestly, that's like, honestly, I can replace you. And I would, in the past, I would never say that, but now I will say it straight up. If any person were to give me any kind of shit, I would make sure they understand how worthless they are to me. You may look at it as abuse. I look at it as like, I need to make sure people understand, like, I don't want to lead you on. I don't want to lie to you. I want to make sure you understand that I value myself over you. So it's like, if you're not valuing me over you, then you can leave. You can go find someone else who can value you the way you want. And turns out that's not what they want. They want someone like me to value them at the level that they want. And that will never happen because, to be honest, I don't respect them. Respect is earned. That's the way I was raised. Respect is earned. And they ain't done shit to earn it. If anything, they've done shit to earn my disrespect. But even then, I won't even disrespect them. It's just they haven't earned my respect. Anyway, let's go on to this other thing, because we were looking at this video. So let's see what we can see. The food. Yes. Let's look at the grocery store. I went to the grocery store and was looking at this fruit and these vegetables. I'm like, why don't we have green onions like that here? Like, why don't we have grapes that are so perfect? Look at those pears. Oh my gosh.
55 for a box, and honestly, I would do this, but I don't have a way to get it home.
So cheap. You know, here in America, oh shit, I tried to pause it. Here in America, I pay $5 for a single one of these pears. $5. 55, gosh, what's their currency? Won, I think. Won. It's not that much.
55 for a box, and honestly, I would do this, but I don't have a way to get it home. So, yeah.
Yeah, I could live in Korea simply because of the food. Like, not the cooked food, but just ingredients. Look at these green onions. Look at how big they are.
They're so big. I've never seen.
Meanwhile, I pay $2.50 for these like small ass green onions here in America. Like, they little tiny, only a few of them. And meanwhile, in Korea, I can get a whole, like, this will last me a fucking month. This is a month of green onions for me. Fresh produce is expensive here in the States, and it's trash too. It's not just expensive, it's trash.
It's at least the length of my arm. And they have some like really high quality looking peaches right here. These look amazing. I noticed that they sell ice cups everywhere, so I guess that's a thing. You know, just cups of ice. Alright, these look like grapes. They look special. I might have to get them just because
I didn't get them. I regret it. I will go back. I will go back and get these grapes. I later learned that these are Japanese grapes and that they're grown and like they're like coddled and shit. So I will go back. Anyway, here's me walking to the restaurant that I was going to. The noodle shop that you'll see in a bit. And you can get a sense for what's around. So you see that the signs are in Korean, obviously, but like, in other countries, like they'll have they'll have English stuff too on the streets, but everything is Korean, not English and Korean or English and like in other countries. But yeah, this area is nice. It reminds me of home here because, you know, they had like GT3s, people driving Bentleys and Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis. I'm like, oh, I'm in my element. Normally when I travel abroad to other countries, you know, I'm not in my element. I had to get into a different kind of mindset where it's like, okay, things are different. Not everybody lives in a certain kind of way. So like this was in this area, I was very like, oh wow, G-Wagons? Like, cool. This fish was upside down.
I think it's retarded. It's literally sleeping upside.
You see, look, it's still alive though. It's still alive upside down. That's fish.
There's some eels, some sea snakes, along with some ugly fish just laying there. I love the doors on. Some real seafood. That fish is stupid. That's a dumb fish. Oh, look at these little squids. I've never seen them alive. They kind of just float. Oh, look at these little shrimps. I've never seen live shrimp. Look at them just moving shrimp.
Yeah, that shrimp, man, I need to go back. All right, so this is the noodle dish. It's like beef noodles. I don't know what it's called. Here, I can show it to you though. This is what it's called. If you can read Korean, that's what it's called.
So I killed the soup. I got a few more bites left, but it's delicious. The name of the restaurant, along with the menu.
Yeah, so there you go. That's yeah. I shit you not. Like, so I when I learned chicken, I decided that it was useful for me to learn all of the other proteins that I eat. So I recognize beef, and I also recognize noodles. Just I can pattern match. I noticed that some of the other food that I had that had noodles, I noticed that when the description it had the same character. So I was like, oh, well, this must be beef noodle. And yeah, I got it. I didn't know what to expect. I got it. I was like, initially when I got it, I was like, oh man, this probably ain't gonna be good. And then I ate it. I was like, oh my God, this is really good. Oh man. Yeah, let me see if I pull out the noodles at least. No, I don't. Yeah, the kimchi is delicious too. Kimchi was delicious. Here, I want to show y'all the sauna. No one's in here. Wait, let me first. Oh, shit, give me a second. Let me confirm that no one was in here. Wait, where did it go? Uh-oh, I just lost my windows. Show all windows. Uh-oh. Somehow photos disappeared. It won't show up. All right, well, shit, we'll quit and reopen it. This is kind of shit that I deal with on a Mac. It's really annoying. Let's close this. Oh, and then, yeah, of course, it doesn't remember anything, so we'll have to go back. Places, all right, we'll come over to here. All right, so in Joseon area, so in this area. They're gonna let me, is it gonna like go? There we go, cool. All right, so look, oh yeah, we still have our food, perfect. We still have the food. Let me pull this over to the side to confirm that this video won't include any people. Perfect, no people. Let's see if this one is gonna include people. Perfect, no people. Okay, let's make sure that this has no people. Perfect. And this has no people. Perfect. Yes, I can show you all these things now. All right, so I'm very mindful of people's privacy. I try not to show people because they don't want to be here. No, they didn't say, hey, I want to be on your live stream. So this is the sauna. I think this is on the 35th floor or whatever that we have access to when you stand at this place. You get to see the kind of lifestyles that you get to live if you work hard. So I went and checked that out first, and then I went to the pool area. So I'm in the spa at the moment. The spa area, like it's the whole floor actually. And yes, that artwork is for sale, and no, I did not buy it. I've only bought a few art pieces. Maybe I'll start, like I would buy that, like that right there. I would buy that. Oh, yeah. Look, you see, I turned it away as soon as I saw a kid. I'm like, nah, little homie. You can't be in this video. Yes, I had to wear a mask. It's, obviously it's in Korea during the pandemic. They messed up my key, so I had to go get another one. Anyway, here's the pool area. It's a really cool pool. I don't know if I showed the view that I had, but I get a view of the city from a very high floor. I think it's like the 34th floor or something like that. No, I didn't show it, unfortunately. Yeah, you won't get to see it. But trust me, it was a dope view. I can pull it up on probably the internet, maybe. Don't look at my feet. Don't look at my feet. All right, anyway, let's go to the actual spot though. Let's see the thing that matters. This right here. Look at that. So we had the hot one, we had the cold one, we have the onsen, and we had the dry sauna and a steam room. It's fucking magical. It's magical. I went every day, every single day. After I did my 7 or 8 miles of walking, I would go in and take my shower and do the thing in the onsen, and then for the second half of the day, I would do the same thing and repeat. What's this? Oh, so this is the remote control. So yes, hotels, nice hotels, the remote is like this and everything is remote control. So yeah, you see. The reason why it's late is because I left. Like, even though I like to stay in a nice hotel, I don't like to stay in the nice hotel, if you know what I mean. I like to get out. I like to be out in the world and see what there is to see, meet who there is to meet, all kinds of things. It's amazing. See what else we got. This restaurant right here is dope. This is by far, I may have had one of the best macarons I've ever had in my life from this place. It was the tea. They had some kind of tea, like whatever flavor. Let me see if I show it. There's something else that I got that was really good. Matcha, some type of matcha bread or something. It was delicious. Low key, the Asian bakeries are some of the best that I've ever had. I've been to Paris. They do really good stuff there too, but like I prefer the Asian bakeries because they're not as sweet. They're less sweet, less sugar. Look at those grapes. Those are those grapes that we saw earlier. That's what they look like when you cut them open. Look at those figs. You see how big those figs are? I've never seen figs that big in my life. And those are macarons. Yes, of course, I will be going back. Oh shit, we gotta show breakfast. So y'all don't know about this, but I do this thing called breakfast when I travel. And it's legit. People fucking love it. They always tell me, they're like, make sure you do this. I'm like, all right, I got you. I'll do it. So this is breakfast, most likely. Yeah, this is breakfast. So if you follow me on my Instagram, on Instagram, whenever I travel, you will see stuff like this. Or you can go to my highlights and you can see more stuff like this in all of the countries that I've done it in. Because not every country I pull out my phone and record everything because of reasons. Like, some countries your phone may be worth someone's salary over 3 years, right? So like you don't really want to just have stuff out like that. So only in certain countries am I willing to be out and have my stuff out. But yeah, this is still breakfast, by the way. Fresh fried crab. What y'all know about that? Freshly, oh my gosh. Talk about delicious too. You don't understand. All right, let's keep going. We're still at breakfast with the fresh squeezed juice now. The fresh fruits. All right, so this was probably my first plate. Got the fried rice, the bok choy, some udon noodle with the broth, the dragon fruit with the yellow fruit. Bro, these grapes. The grapes, oh my gosh, life-changing. So amazing. Got some eggplant. Bro, I didn't even start eating eggplant until I went to Asia. Like during the breakfast, like they just have eggplant. I'll just try it. I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. I'll eat it. So I eat eggplant now, mainly for breakfast. Like I do breakfast for dead ass. So here's the fruit. This is probably the same thing. This is probably meant for Instagram. Here you go, the French toast. Freshly made, by the way, with brioche. And it was delicious. I know it's showing up green for y'all. It's not green. Just remember this is filmed in HDR, so it's going to look blown out and the colors are going to look off for y'all. So just keep that in mind. These are wonton noodles with bok choy and some and wonton. And then we have what is this? Like these dumplings, like shumai and wait, not shumai. What do you call these things? I forget. Dim sum? Yeah, dim sum. So this was my dim sum course for breakfast. And then it looks like I must have did something for Instagram here. This is probably Instagram. Yeah, that's for Instagram. Oh, I guess I didn't have that many courses this day. Maybe not. All right. Yeah, you see more of me. Yeah, that's me, as you can see. We got the gym. So, you know, you get to work out with a view. And yes, I had to wear my mask. They actually came up to me. They were like, you have to wear your mask in the gym. I was like, so I ended up not even working out because I was going to work out. I was just coming in here to go and do an overview, take stock of what all they had for the Instagram. And I was going to go back and work out. And then they were like, yeah, you got to use your mask. I was like, yeah, I'm going to just go. I'm going to go to the spa. Because you don't have to use the mask in the spa, which is crazy. Like I had to use the mask here. But in the spa, it's fine. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Here's my room again. So you get to see the view. I got a really cool view of the mountains. I realized that this is really blown out for y'all, but I don't know what I can do to make it better. It would be cool if I can make this show in not HDR for you. Unfortunately, I can't. Oh yeah, we got the line up here of the whips. All right, so here's my second room when I eventually got the room that I was meant to get. By the way, everything there is Samsung and LG. And that fan that you saw, that air purifier, that's a Samsung air purifier. And I loved it so much, I bought one. I have it in my room. You probably can't see it, but there's a little, it's kind of in the corner. It's over there. I have that same one in my room. It's really cool. It was kind of, it's more of like a, it looks nice. So you pay for it, but it looks dope. I already got some tea service. You know, I make my own tea with my macaron. Delicious. What else is there here? Is there anything else worth looking at? Breakfast again, most likely. Here's breakfast again. Not breakfast again. I don't really do cereal with milk. But I do that dragon fruit and that pineapple. Bro, that pineapple. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the pineapple. They get their pineapple from Taiwan. Taiwanese pineapple is just next level. And Thai pineapple is even beyond that. The best pineapple I've ever had in my life was in Thailand. And a close second is Taiwan. I've had pineapple in Costa Rica. Compared to Taiwanese and Thai pineapple, trash. It's not bad. It's just compared to those, it's trash. All right, I'm in the main serving area. So typically in these types of hotels, These are 5 stars, by the way. So typically in these types of hotels, the breakfast is going to be an international type of breakfast, and they are all fresh, and it's all buffet style. And it's always going to have, especially in Asia, they're going to have the noodle station always. Then they're also going to have like the stir-fried vegetables and all that kind of stuff section. Then they're going to have meats. Then they'll generally have a continental like breakfast, which is like American shit. And they'll do French stuff for the European stuff. It's always French. It's never anything else. Except for the Brits. Sometimes they'll have beans for the Brits because, you know, they like to eat beans for breakfast. So yeah, generally, if you're staying in one of these hotels, you're going to be able to find anything that you like. But I normally just eat the local food because it's phenomenal. It's delicious. Oops, sorry. I don't even know why, like, y'all can't see it, unfortunately. I'm looking at what it looks like for y'all. It's all blown out. Like that green, it doesn't look like that. Oh, they got bok choy. And eggplant. I might have to get some of this eggplant. Probably gonna skip both today. The French toast is delicious. It's amazing. Oh, and they also have the station where the roast station, where they roast meats. Got a few rounds to go. Real Zio duck. Oh, I think I know what that is. This cabbage is white cabbage kimchi is pretty cool. Got a salad bar. You want to know what's crazy though? What's crazy is that not a single person was like, black guy, none of that. Which is interesting, you know. We always get told, "Oh, everyone hates you." It's like, not really. No one seemed to be like, no one was like, "Oh, I don't want to sit next to him." It wasn't that. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Like, well, not here, but I had folks come up and talk. I met a guy who works in chips, and we ended up connecting. He saw me a few times. I didn't recognize him, unfortunately. Like, yeah, he recognized me. But let's just say I stand out. I stand out a lot. So we ended up connecting and hanging out some. So it's interesting. Like everywhere I go, I'm able to like make friends with people, and it always challenges this thing that people say here is like, "Oh, you're black." Like, "Oh, you can only go but so far." It's like, well, that's just you. Salad. Well, yeah, so you get an idea. Unfortunately, it's blown out for y'all. I don't really know how to fix that for you, but yeah, it's a pretty cool place, and yeah, I plan to go back. There's some other really cool places that I went to here. I think it was on the other side of the river though, because a lot of the museums I think are on the other side of the river. Oh, North Seoul was cool. The tower. Korea Tower. This was kind of cool. I went and did this and walked up that thing. It was fucking giant. Saw some of this artwork. I actually found some artwork that I wanted to buy. But then I was just like, I don't know. Like one of them was like, I think they wanted $50,000 for it. And I thought about it. I was like, man, that's 2 trips. That's 3, it's like 2 or 3 trips I can take. So I was like, nah, I'm a skip. But this song right here is kind of cool because it shows you all of the major cities and how far they are from where we are here and like their directions. So you see here, all the cities. You get Sao Paulo, Tokyo, San Francisco, DC, Hokkaido. Unfortunately, they didn't have Houston, which is the best city. You know, they missing out. They didn't do a good enough job. They forgot places. So maybe next time I go, they will have learned the lesson and put the best city in America on that. The only city that matters. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. Yeah, dope views. Like, sometimes when I see stuff like this, when I watch this, I'm like, why am I even here? Why am I here? What am I doing here? I can drive my Ducati here and see amazing mountains, rivers, like the bay, the ocean. I don't have to see fat people. It's all around a good thing. Man, I don't know why I came back. Like I can't, like every time I come back, I'm like, why am I even coming back? And the last time I did go on a trip where I left and then I didn't come back for like almost a year and a half. And I promised that I wouldn't do that again because I think that's, I don't know. I just don't think it's very responsible, I guess, to run away from your problems, because that's effectively what I did. I just ran away from my problems. I didn't want to deal with them, so I left. Looks like NYU is right here in this region. What else is here? Oh, actually, the forest. I did a walk, like a long hike. It was a long hike, like a 4-hour across elevation, and I saw some really cool things. So I came across whatever this dude is. I don't know. I can't read Korean. I came across this. I was like, oh, let me go check it out. And then in the process of checking it out, I found some other shit in the region, and I was like, oh, let me go check that out. And then I found myself in this really cool thing and walking up this freaking mountain for an hour and a half, sweating like balls and getting passed by these old Korean women. I'm over here like, God damn, I'm in shape, but God dang, they over here embarrassing me. For what it's worth, this is the thing that like I ended up coming across this, and this is big. You don't get the full scale of how big this is. But I saw this and I ended up just walking up, and I kept walking up thinking that it would stop. And an hour and a half later, I finally got to a point where it stopped. It was long. I was sweating. I was like, man, why did I do this? It's nothing but stairs too. It's nonstop stairs. That's why you don't see fat people. Look at them. Look at this. The only fat people you see are Americans visiting. Just like my fat ass. And this is why they have stairs, and you got to take them. If they would have had an elevator, I would have used it. I'm not even going to lie. I would have been the fat American. I'm like, man, I'm going to use this elevator, this escalator. But yeah, this place right here is dope. I forget the name of the place, but it's here on this map. If you look, it's Namsan Park. Namsan Park. Forgive my pronunciation. Again, I don't really speak Korean, so I'm doing it phonetically. Yeah, Korea is dope. Man, I forgot about some of these places. What's this? Oh, this is when I did my long walk. I did, one day I decided, so I stayed in a loft because I had to stay for one extra night. And this was like last minute because of the change of plans. So I ended up staying in a loft. I fucking hate a loft, but I stayed there. I was like, I can do it. I did it. Anyway, I stayed at the loft, and I ended up walking from the loft to here. I literally walked out, made a random decision to take a left, made another random decision to take more turns, and I ended up coming to this tunnel here, and I'm like, what the hell is this? So I kept walking through, and I ended up coming out to some kind of, I think it's the river now. At the time, I didn't know it was the river. I thought it was the ocean at the time. I don't care if you want to judge me for thinking that a river's the ocean. Y'all ain't been there, so you can't talk shit. So I came out, I was like, oh my God, that's the ocean. And yeah, I was like, how do I get down? And I ended up walking along this for a long way, like a very long way. So here's some of that path. So this is what this passport bro does. I go to a country and I literally will walk around. Generally, I do between 15 to 25 miles of walking a day, and that's just walking. That's not including the transportation, like, you know, I'm going to ride a train, or I may take a cab to get to somewhere, or a bus, or I might hop on a plane. Like, it doesn't include any of that. It's just the walking part. So I'm generally out all day just recording and taking pictures of shit. What you're seeing are just videos. Here is a train that I think popped out. Now that I know the geography of the place, I know that that's the river, and it took me about a week and a half to understand how the city was laid out. So, you know, that's one of the subways that will go to the other side of the city, on the other side of the river. And I think that's the Han River. I think that's what it's called, Han River. Let's check. Come on now, zoom out. There we go. Come on, go up. Here we are. Cool. So yeah, it's just the Han River. Yeah, it's called the Han River. All right. So yeah. Okay, and let's see what we got here. So this is a bike path, and I ended up just walking along this. Here you get to see a really cool view of the city. That's the tallest building in the city, and I did go there. I will show you all that in a moment. All right, and as you can see, I started here, and then I made it to here. So here's some more photos, or videos, I should say. It's blown out, but yeah, you gotta deal with it. The sky don't really look like that. It's no black man in the sky. So this is cool because like I know about like water infrastructure, and it was cool to see all of the different waterworks that they had to control the flow of their river, to make sure that things don't get too high, like, because you know it floods. They have rain there, obviously. So it was really cool to see some of the things that they were doing. This is like a breakwater type of thing where it makes sure that, actually I'm not gonna lie, I don't know, I'm not a civil engineer. What I would have to do is talk to one of my buddies who does this, and he can give you the real lowdown on like what it really does. Cause yeah, I don't want to lie to you. You're gonna let me? Okay. Oh, this is a video too. Okay, yeah, cool. So here's further down some other place. Korea was nice. Like, it was nice. I met some really cool people there. I do plan to go back. I do plan to go back. But let me show the tallest building. Well, this is Dalat or Ladi Center, however you say it. This is one of the malls. It's a beautiful mall. It's vain though. It's like one of the things that I've learned, because I've been to so many places, is that when you go to these luxury malls, they're all the same. There's not really any different experiences. They have the same stores. So once you get into like high end wear, before you get into custom like tailored stuff, it's not that many. So like they all have the same stores. They all have like a Louis Vuitton, what do you call it, Bulgari, what are some of the brands, like Rimowa? I don't know. I don't like Dolce and Gabbana. They have all that crap, like all these stores, and they're like they always have the same store. So because I tend to stay in the those types of regions, I always see the same shit, and that kind of made me jaded a little bit. Especially when I was in Taiwan, because every place that I stayed, just right next door, it's the same shit that I have here at home. And I'm just like, I didn't come here to see this. All right, it's not like it's not like I stayed there to see that shit. I didn't know what they had. I was just like, I'm gonna stay in this area. And then when I see all of the stores, I'm like, this is the same shit we have. It's the Apple Store, I don't know. I don't even know the brand names anymore. It's a tall building, and I did go up there, so let's see what it's like at the top. Unfortunately, I didn't well, actually, maybe I did use my real camera, but we're looking at iPhone footage, so it's not going to look nice. It's going to look shitty. You hear this clown music they had? This is how you get to the top. You got to like...
That's on the music part of the circus. Not a fan of the music.
I'm pretty. Oh, this must be the top. I'm pretty sure I went up there because I remember going up there. Okay, yeah. Here you go. You can kind of see. Huh? Nice view, isn't it? Looking back, I really wish that I would have used my real camera, but I was actually meant to meet some people there. and they ended up not being able to come. So they told me to meet them like somewhere else, and we ended up going somewhere else. So because I was coming from some other place and I was, all about, I didn't bring my real camera. I just brought my phone because it's kind of hard to walk a lot with all of my gear. It's heavy. So if I know I'm not going to record anything like that, I'll just bring my phone. Anyway, yeah, that's whatever that tower is called. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, it was a cool place. And yeah, I really enjoyed myself in Korea. Although I wish that I could have did what I had intended to do. I did make my way down to Suwon. I did do that, but I was meant to go to all of these cities along the way to Busan. Why did I want to go to Busan? There is a movie called Train to Busan, literally for that reason. Literally for that reason. And then I was like, I may as well go to Jeju Island if I'm gonna be all the way down south, take a boat. And then, yeah. But I guess what I'll do next time is when I'm in Korea, when I go to Japan, what I will likely do is take I'll probably plan my trip so that I start out at the top of Japan and then make my way south and then take a ferry, because you could take a ferry from one of these areas here over to Busan. It's like a 3.5, 4 hour ferry ride, or maybe 6. I don't know. It's not too bad. You can get a room and all that kind of stuff, or you can like stay in it's a lot of space. It's not like you're going to be cramped or anything. You can walk around and do stuff. But yeah, I was planning to likely take a ferry back to Korea because I think that would be kind of cool to say, yeah, I've been to Korea in one of two ways. I've landed there and I have taken a boat there. I like stuff like that. All right. Anyways, that's all that. I think I finished all of the things that we were supposed to talk about, and then we finished up with the Korea stuff that we somehow got sidetracked on. So with that, I'm going to see if there's any of y'all have any questions, anything y'all want to talk about further, or should I just go? Because I can do both. We'll get the music started. Let's go ahead and get this back down. Get a vibe going. All right. Well, I'm going to assume there's nothing. I've been here for 3.5 hours or longer. So I'm going to see y'all. Peace.